And, I was reading an article this morning about people going into Mexico,
Yeah.
returning for the holidays and stuff. The Mexican government raised the amount of stuff they can bring back up to $500.
The Mexican
Government
I thought
for going back into Mexico.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay.
Mexicans that have come to the United States to work or whatever, going home for
Mhm.
Christmas. It's normally like $300.
Okay.
Of course, they use pesos, but it's $300.
Right.
And now they raised it to 500. I mean, that's a holiday spirit for you, right?
Mm. Well, inflation.
So I was curious after reading that.
Well, the cartel was getting frustrated that people didn't have enough money on them to
Maybe. Yeah, you need a lot of money, so we can take it at the border, maybe. I was curious about. I mean, I've come across the border from Mexico to the U.S. many times, and
Uh-huh.
I've carried small amounts of things,
Right.
Pharmaceuticals or something. Never much, just a few things. But I don't really know what the limitations are.
Right. I've never come close to anything. I haven't been to Mexico in years, so
Well, then you don't have to worry about it.
yeah, it's too scary.
A couple things, and you didn't know about the passport, but apparently a few years ago they put a rule that says at such and such a date you're going to need a passport to get back from Mexico.
Huh.
Date came, they didn't really enforce it.
Right.
In fact, you come through customs, and I've got a passport, but I left it at home. And they'll say, "Do you have a passport?" Now, always tell the truth because they know more. They know about
Yeah.
you before you say a word. They already know you have a passport. It's a rhetorical question. They just want to know if you're a liar.
Yeah.
To check you out.
Seeing how you handle the question.
Because they've already got your driver's license. They put it in there, and probably information that you don't know is in there comes up.
Yeah.
So don't lie to them.
No.
They know. And they can tell when you're lying. They're kind of, let's say, they train.
They're like Santa Claus.
They look at that stuff. Yeah, they are like Santa Claus. So I'll say, no, I don't have it. I left it at home or something. Well, you need to bring it. And they'll give you that little thing because they did make it a rule, but never enforced it. And I know people have never had a passport.
And I've always wondered,
Back and forth.
what are they going to do? Well, then you can't come back to the United States now. They go through a whole big.
They could. They just give you a talk and say, but they're not going to hold you. Apparently, I mean, maybe they can take you back room, cavity search, let's see what you're carrying illegally. Make it uncomfortable.
They do. Yeah,
they could do that. I mean, I don't know them to do that, but I guess they could.
But now you're saying you can get through with the EI. What the real ID?
Oh yeah, the real ID. What's in this article? They put the enhanced driver's license now is as good as a passport. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. So I thought it was new information.
I thought that was just going to be for air travel.
Well, that's the way it's written up.
Right.
But here's a U.S. passport will get you back in the U.S. without hassle.
Mm-hmm.
A passport card, which I have. I carry a passport card with me in case somebody says, "Hey, I need to go to Mexico real quick. Can you take me or something?" I'll do that. But now that I know I can carry my enhanced driver's license,
I need to get that. By the way,
it costs you $25. You got that?
I could probably scrap it.
Do you have a passport?
Yeah.
Well, all you have to do is take your passport down and the driver's license and pay the extra money, and they do some magic.
Yeah, we got the passports last year for our trip to Germany.
Yeah, with the passport,
I've not used it again since.
Otherwise, it's a I don't know. I think it's a birth certificate. You have to look on the DMV, and they'll tell you how to prove that you are who you are.
Yeah.
But a passport makes it real easy because they've already done it.
Yep.
The U.S. government's already done it. They go, "Oh, passport, you're fine."
Yep.
They'll take that.
It does make things more convenient.
It does. Because you've already been put into the system. You're digitally enhanced. You got, you're good.
I thought I looked better.
And enhanced tribal cards. So apparently a tribal card can become enhanced too.
Interesting.
Can enhance anything. FAST for commercial drivers. Nexus for crossing U.S.-Canadian border. Didn't know about that. Military identification cards for members of the armed services.
Mm.
I guess that's as good as a passport.
It identifies who you are.
Oh.
It doesn't necessarily say you're an American citizen, but it does say identify who you are.
Now it says if you don't have the previous documents listed, you may also cross with 2 documents denoting citizenship and identity, such as the combination of a state-issued driver's license plus birth certificate. That's what they're supposed to do. Now, I've never heard of them holding somebody up says, "No entry for you." I've not seen that. And like I said, I know people have never had a passport. It goes down there, and I've told them, "Dennis, you're supposed to have a passport or something." "Ah, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I've always done it. It doesn't matter." And he does. He does all the time. And he's just a crazy guy. And he said, "Oh, just go on."
Yeah, yeah. Years ago, we took the family over to the East Coast, and we uh, went into Canada at Niagara Falls.
Yeah.
To see the other side of the falls, and the going into Canada, which you would think was like, Canada's like, "Hey, come on in," we didn't have passports. They, searched through the car. They had us sitting off to the side. They asked all kinds of questions, yada yada yada. And it was a bit of a thing. So then, they said, "All right, fine, put us back on the road," and we drove across to the other side. I don't know what the Canadian side is. I don't remember, but we were going to come back into the states in Detroit. So we get to Detroit, and we're going through the border checkpoint, and the American guy, he says, "You have your passports?" "No, no, you're really supposed to." "All right, go on in." That was it. You know,
I don't
it's
but someday they can cut that off, and someday, and according to this article too, then, they can take you over to secondary
yeah, yeah,
and to do more background checks, find out if you are and all that kinda stuff.
yeah.
Um, but I guess you didn't look like somebody
I
would
didn't look scary, yeah.
didn't look like you're doing
The
that.
beard helped.
US citizens under 16, of course, they may not have a driver's license.
Right.
Uh, they can also have an original copy of their birth certificate issued by a vital records department in the state where he or she was born. I took my granddaughter one time with her birth certificate.
Mm. Yeah, if you're gonna be taking a child,
Yeah,
you really wanna be able to prove they're your
she was
kid.
5 or something at the time, 5 or 6,
Mhm.
and I remember, and we had a good time, and we went down there to just Algodones, had a few things to do, and, we had, breakfast and came
Yeah,
back.
algodones can be fun.
Yeah,
It's not as scary as the rest of the
but anyway, on the way back, the customs agent, I checked through first, and then the baby girl gave me the birth certificate. Nice guy,
Uh-huh.
and he looked at the birth certificate and everything, and he says, "So who is this guy to you?" Now, she didn't understand the
Ah,
phraseology.
right.
She says and she just looked at him, like, inquisitive, like, "What do you mean? Like, who is he to me?" And he said, "Well, is that your uncle? Is that your brother? Is that your dad?" She goes, "No, no, that's my grandpa." He says, "I bet he thinks you're a monster, right?" She says, "No, no, I'm a terrorist."
Oh,
Yeah,
classic.
that was wonderful. And I thought, "Oh,
Really?
well, maybe you shouldn't do" well,
"Could
I
you
do
come
I
this way, sir?"
well, I was thankful that he'd laugh. But she looked all confused, like, "But grandpa's called me a terrorist forever," like, why is that funny?
Ah,
Yeah,
uh,
we got in somehow
that's a story forever, yeah.
without the secondary.
Oh.
My daughter was in the line next one over from us, and she
Uh-huh.
heard the whole thing, she's like, "Oh my god." I knew but see, then I get blamed.
Yeah,
Grandpa gets blamed for all of that.
yeah. And I figure, if I'm gonna be getting blamed for things that happen just because they happen, I'm gonna encourage things to
Well, make
happen.
it good.
I'm gonna earn that
Make it good. Now, coming from Mexico, there always is sometimes nervousness or whatever, what am I allowed to bring back? What can I not bring back? And all
right.
that. And I bring back pharmaceuticals, of course, the drugstores down there, they know exactly what you
How
can and
much you
can't do.
can get, yeah.
Well, and they'll know what's, not legal. Like, if you're taking testosterone shots or something,
Mhm.
can't bring it.
Oh, really?
But they can shoot you down there, go down there and say,
Right.
"Drop your pants a little bit and let me hit you with a shot or something."
Yeah, and then they give it to you in the arm.
Oh, I don't think so. Could happen. That would be weird. Um, they can do that, and I know people have done that. They'll go down just for a shot, but there's certain things you can't bring
Right.
back. And they'll know, and they'll keep you informed, and they keep you informed on quantities and stuff. The pharmaceuticals are well versed
Yeah.
in that, and they'll tell
It's
you.
their business.
I've known people that will take something that's not legal from a pharmaceutical. They know it's not legal. Pharmaceutical says you can't take it back. Says fine. And then they say, well, also sell me some Z-Packs. So they actually go to the garbage can, pour the Z-Pack medication into
Mm.
it, and put the other medication in the Z-Pack container. Buddy, I don't know what the penalty and fine is, but there's nothing on this world
Right.
worth it.
No,
There's nothing. Look,
that's
that is intentionally
smuggling.
smuggling, intentionally into against the federal border, across the federal. Are you
Right.
kidding me? What is so valuable that you're going to do that?
Yeah.
And of course, the people who've done it have said, "Oh, it's nothing. I do it, and it doesn't matter." No way. I wouldn't even want to be anywhere near a person
Oh,
like
no.
that. I wouldn't.
No.
I wouldn't want to do that.
Nope.
I would
I'm
not.
walking across. Yeah. I drove you
Look,
in. Nope.
buddy. When
Mm-mm.
I go across, I'm completely truthful
Yeah.
on everything.
Yeah.
I don't need that kind of aggravation. Not at all.
Yeah. There's just nothing to say about that. It's just that's not worth it, the trouble to be a smuggler.
I one time I came across with some ivermectin, and the agent, which is rare. I mean, I never have a bad time with any of these customs.
Mhm.
They're always good. Uh, Looked at the quantity, and it's back when they were doing just like 5 pills to a bottle.
Mm.
Something silly, something
Right.
small, and I had like 10 of them or something. I don't know, something like that, and not a large amount in pills. Actually, now they sell the one bottle with 40 pills in
Mm.
it. Which is a lot more
I'd
convenient.
Yeah.
But anyway, she says, "Well, you're only allowed to take a 90-day supply or something like that." And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Well, that's more than that." I said, "No." I said, "It's not." And I said, According to the pioneer doctors that are recommending ivermectin, you're supposed to take one pill for every 30 pounds of weight 3 days in a row."
And
So
I'm fat.
I'm fat. So a normal day, I would take 5 pills in a dose,
Right.
whatever. That's like more than a bottle. I've only got 10 bottles here. And well, that's not what the drug was designed for. And
That's an
and
interesting question.
and I said, well, that doesn't matter because it's widely accepted in the United States, to take
Uh-huh.
something off shelf. It's not necessarily designed for that. That's a normal prescription, even.
Yeah,
In
even
the
with
United States.
once it's allowed for one thing, it can
And
pretty
I
much
said,
just
but if you're adamant, you tell me how many I can have, and you just throw the
throw
rest
away.
away.
Yeah.
Just take them. And she was just. I mean, it wasn't much of anything,
Right.
but she was just being. I guess she had a bad morning.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I'm not. I don't.
But that is an interesting question for the Border Patrol. If the recommendation is X,
Well, what
but
does
the
she know what the
practice is
recommendation
Y.
is?
Well, I'm sure they've got those things because the recommendations come from the CDC or the FDA,
Well, I think they're more like
and
on
they're
the
not
no,
gonna know every
but it,
prescription.
but it, it depends on the application, and it
Yeah.
depends on ivermectin, the
But,
weight.
when it comes to law, things have to be defined, otherwise, somebody could.
There's no way they could become a scholar on all of it. There's
No, they'd
too
have it.
much.
That's what I'm saying. The FDA would
Well,
would
she
have
just
the
did it off the top of her
recommendation.
head. She didn't look at
What do
it.
you think?
No, she didn't know what she was talking about.
'Cause
I don't
otherwise
know. I don't know if she was just trying to trigger me or something, or see if I was unsure or I was scared.
otherwise people could get over the 90-day limit by saying, "Oh, well, I take double dose,"
Oh,
or
well, I
something.
think it was a 9-day limit, but that's the whatever
90-day
number.
limit sounds familiar. Yeah.
But anyway, I got through. But that's been the only time I was ever.
Mm.
And a lot of times, when they see me, they just ask me what's in the bag. I say pharmaceuticals, and that's enough.
Yeah.
But sometimes it's nice to, tell them it's like, oh, it's got a bunch of Viagra and stuff in there, something like that.
Just to
They
mess
like
with it.
that. Yeah.
And they do. Their job is so,
Yeah.
gets monotonous, and if somebody is engaging
Mhm.
and funny, it gives them a break in their day, and
Well, they're looking for any telltale signs of
yeah,
somebody being dishonest or something like that. Like
maybe
with my granddaughter.
being evasive or something. Yeah.
Well, then the question comes up: how much can you bring back, dollar wise?
Yeah.
Dollar-wise, and it says the duty-free exception for items brought back from Mexico is 800 per person as long as the items in your possession. But it also requires, for any amount in excess, you pay the appropriate duty. Two people may bring back 1,600, one of them 200, and items. Now, the other day I read that it's 800 per person is if you were in the country for more than 48 hours. This article doesn't say that, so
Mm.
double check that. But it said if it's not, it's like 300 or 200 or something.
Mhm.
If it's just down there, just run down, pick something up, come right back. They don't give. But I don't know. I've read different articles say different things.
I've never come back with more cash than I went down because we usually
No,
go
no,
down
no. I don't
less.
even attempt that. The items are for personal or household use. The item may be declared to the customs official in the past 30 days if you haven't used any part of your 800 exemption. The items are not prohibited or restricted. For example, Cuban cigars produced in Mexico are prohibited.
Mm.
Yeah, and there's other narcotics and stuff.
Right.
Even if, and I've asked them before because I have prescriptions, and I'll ask, can I get this prescription down there? And they won't. They wouldn't have let me pass anyway. And I don't know why, but I just take them at their word. I don't
Right.
question it. I ask the pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
They generally know what the customs are going to accept and not accept. At least it's been my experience. I may get tricked one day.
Mhm.
Duty-free personal exemption. If you're allowed to return to the U.S. with 200 cigarettes or 100 cigars that are previously exported, usually found in duty-free shops of work, only 1 liter of alcohol is allowed if you are over the age of 21. You got to be over 21 to bring alcohol.
Hmm. Who would have thought?
Helpful hint to avoid hassles. I'm a hassle avoidance guy. It's best to not bring back fruits, vegetables, meat,
Yeah.
dairy products from Mexico unless you know they are allowed. And basically, they're not,
Right.
particularly meats and stuff. Some foreign bought prescription may not have FDA approval and therefore not allowed in the U.S. Mostly what I bought down there is made by the same company.
Yeah.
Money or monetary instruments worth more than $10,000 must be declared. You can bring it. I mean, if you have $11,000, you can bring it. You just got to declare it. So, by the way, I have $11,000 in my pocket. And then I want to be your friend.
They ask a couple more questions, but yeah, generally they're cool.
Yeah. I generally, I always have my sunglasses off, my hat's off,
Yeah.
smile for the
'Cause
camera.
it's enough of a hassle just going through the process when everything works perfectly. Why make it more for yourself? And then it's
And for
more for the
them,
people behind you.
and for them, those
And
customs,
for them, yeah.
the customs officials
Yeah.
are usually, usually they're inundated with people that want to fight and argue.
Yep.
Well, my friend told me, well, I can bring this back, that kind of stuff. Or why do you hassle, they hassle, which it always escapes me as to what do you gain by that?
Yeah. Nothing.
I know.
Yeah.
Some people just got to vent anger.
But then they're venting it at the wrong people.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like people get upset with the
Hey, look,
minimum wage teenager doing his job. Well, I can't do that. Why not? Because I get fired.
these customs officials are there protecting us and all
Yeah.
that. Buy them a coffee, man. Don't harass them, but they do.
Right.
You see people do it to police officers and get pulled over.
It all over
They
the
make
place.
good YouTube videos.
Yep. Karen.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But it's a hassle. I'm dealing with the IRS right now over some mistakes at where we paid all our taxes, but they sent it back to us like a year or two later,
Oh, thanks.
and then billed us because we didn't pay it with interest and late fees.
Uh-huh.
And of course, I've had to talk to agents, and when I do, I'm polite. They're just doing their job. I don't care. I don't call, well, you idiots. You don't want. I don't care. I said, look, this is the situation, and they can look it up and see that. Oh, you're right. You're right. You're right. Well, you shouldn't have to pay that, but I'm not the office that can tell you that. You've got to get a hold of this person and that person, and you gotta appeal it, all that stuff. And I'm in the middle of doing that right now, which is fine, but I'm always polite, and it's been a lot of phone calls, a lot of stuff.
Yeah. and
get a hold of them.
when
You can be on hold for 2 hours and you get cut off.
Yeah.
Getting a hold of them is impossible, particularly with the government shutdown. So I finally got somebody that's turning me over to a guy that can do all of the things. Somebody, and it was like, it really, when I first started talking to him, he said, "Well, you don't want to talk to those guys. That's usually for when you're in really bad trouble." And I said, "Well, that's who I need.
Yeah.
That's who I need. It's all documented. Everything's good." But finally he says, "Yeah, you need to talk to him." You know what the wait line is to get an agent that's going to talk to me? 90 day,
Really?
90 days,
Wow.
90 days. In the meantime, I'm getting hate mail, which is automated from the IRS, which they turned it all off. They
Right.
turned it all off and said, "Look, we understand. We see the problem. We'll turn it all off, and you can expect 90 days
Wow.
to get a call." I was like, "And that's what we'll wait. We'll wait
Yep.
for 90 days."
It doesn't hurt.
No,
So
but I'm not going to yell at these guys.
Yeah.
And they're trapped in a system that doesn't work.
and anytime there's an opportunity for discretion on their part, you don't want to have upset them.
No.
You want them
Let
to
me tell
be in
you.
a good mood so that they can move things in your direction.
Here's what I know. Every time I call, they document and take notes and put it in the system
Yeah.
so that any agent that's going to pick it up is going to read. Very cooperative, very
Right.
helpful. And that's what I want.
Yep.
I don't want jerk, swears a lot.
And
or something like that.
and if it does go beyond, things didn't work out in your favor and you got to go to, legal action or something like that.
Yeah.
That's gonna be in the
Well-
record, and you want that. The judge being
Well-
able to say, "Hey, he was working in your best."
There's a lot of agencies out there that will advertise, if you have problems with taxes and all that.
Yeah.
Now that's usually for people that really have gotten themselves in trouble.
Mhm.
I don't need that.
And-
We've paid it. We've done it. There was a mix up somehow
Yeah.
where they sent it back and then said I didn't send it. Well, I got the checks that they sent it back.
Yeah.
And well, they've got all those records. They've got all the records. And so I don't see that I need a lawyer. I just need to talk to them.
Yeah, and those companies, we can help with your tax, issues and things.
Sure.
They can't do anything that you can't do yourself. And in fact,
Right.
all they can do is tell you this is, you can fill out this form and,
Right.
make sure you say these things and yada,
Right.
yada, yada. They can't actually even do it for you. They
But
have,
most people
all
don't
they
have
can
the
do is
wherewithal to
advise.
get on
Yeah.
a phone and be able to discuss
Right.
these
They-
kinds of issues. Most people can't. That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Or can't do it without blowing up and becoming stupid and causing themselves more problem than they were already
That's
in.
probably worth it if you're that kind of person. Yeah.
If that's right, you better get yourself a spokesman.
Yeah.
I'll be fine with it. In fact, but I wouldn't trust anyone else in my office to do it.
No, yeah, just like, you don't wanna, mess up things, crossing the border, you don't wanna mess up things with the IRS, so.
No, and you don't want to give any more information than what it takes
Then
to
it's
get through your
necessary.
problem,
Right.
whatever your problem is.
Yeah.
You don't need to volunteer a whole bunch of crap. So they focus on one thing.
Yeah, I know some of it, you ask them a question, they give it's a yes or no question, and 10 minutes later, they haven't actually asked you the question, but they've given you all the other kinds of information around it. I was like, never be a witness in a trial.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not gonna work out
Yeah.
good for you.
Yeah. Keep it simple, man. We'll be right back.
Unseasonably mild temperatures 2 weeks out from Christmas. We'll take it 81 and sunny today and tomorrow, clear and 54 both nights. Partly cloudy skies this weekend. We'll stay with highs of 80 on both Saturday and Sunday.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/Mike.
So Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $29.95 a month for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This top tier plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you'll save over 50% every month for the rest of your life. You might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro, offer ends 12/14. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
It's pajama time, Yuma. Join Eldorado Broadcasters and Avenir Financial for DJs for PJs, collecting new unused warm pajamas for families in need. Now through December 14th, drop off donations at our radio station at 755 West 28th, Avenir Financial at 1780 South First Avenue, and on North Frontage Road in the foothills, or any local Little Caesars Pizza. Let's keep Yuma warm this holiday season. 'Tis the season for cozy nights, holiday movies, and full houses. So make sure your internet can keep up. Allo Fiber brings you lightning fast 100% fiber optic internet that doesn't slow down when everyone's home for the holidays. Check them out at allofiber.com.
Yeah, these politicians are driving me nuts.
So that's what's doing it.
What?
Stop scrolling, man. We're here for some Christmas cheer.
Hey, you know what's on my Christmas list? I'd like one Republican who isn't a sellout.
Okay, Merry Christmas. That's David Schweikert.
Schweikert?
Scottsdale congressman, hardcore conservative, running for governor.
Oh, sure, Schweikert. That guy's a fighter. Helped write and deliver Trump's tax cuts, right?
Bingo! Schweikert stood strong with Trump, and Schweikert's totally uncompromising on illegal immigration. 100%.
Hey, you know, Schweikert must be solid because the libs have been attacking him like forever. They spent millions smearing the guy, and Schweikert wins anyway.
Plus, I'm pretty sure Schweikert knows Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Aha! Well, that settles it. I'm going with David Schweikert for governor, a real conservative.
Paid for by Win Arizona with 0% from out-of-state contributors. Not authorized by a candidate.
Yuma, the Great American RV Roadshow Super Sale was set to end, but holiday shoppers packed the Yuma Fairgrounds, so we're sticking around one more week.
Festive end-of-season clearance prices are still rolling on new and used RVs, including our very best deals on repos and trades.
This is one of the world's largest traveling RV sales, but when it's gone, it's gone.
RVs cost less at the Great American RV Roadshow.
Extended through Sunday at the Yuma Fairgrounds. Parking and admission are free. Presented by RV Country.
There's a man in D.C. He's been 63. He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drain that old storm, just like you said.
Hey, I'm fine. You must part with you. Chris Larson building.
I'm here.
Jingle Bell.
Jingle Bell.
Yeah, I read a story. Let me see. The history of Jingle Bells and all that. Let me see. I've got.
Jingle bells, jingle bells.
First off, Joy Reid, who's the fired lady from MSNBC for being a racist.
Okay.
She's a black lady that only talks about race and everything's about race.
I don't know who she is. I don't want
Yeah, she's she's just a screamer. She said that the Jingle Bells was written to make fun of black people.
It was
Yeah, it's
not.
racist. Well, I had to do some research on there's some connection to Civil War type stuff. But she's opening and said that it was, it's all about racism and all that. And
I'm glad she was fired. I don't even know who you're talking about, but that's clearly people that can't get attention based on their merits. So they just have to say outrageous things.
Yeah. Well, according to her, it was penned in 1850, which there is some collaboration there by James Lord Pierpont. Now, James Lord Pierpont was has some background that's all questionable and all that stuff, but he's
At that time period,
his connection, it's abandoning family and joining the Civil War as a Confederate and a bunch of stuff, but he They say he penned it in 1850, but that's probably not likely. Originally, when it came out, it was actually called "The One Horse Open Sleigh."
Okay.
Was the name of the song, and it wasn't. He didn't patent that thing until like 1857. They're saying he wrote it in 1850, which many say it's unlikely uh, because he does it for money. He wrote songs for money
Okay.
and all that kind of stuff. They say he was at a Simpson Tavern in 1850 when he wrote it possibly. They're not sure about that. In 1985, Savannah erected a historical book in Savannah, Georgia,
Uh-huh.
marker of its own across the Unitarian Church, where Piermont was music director at the time that the song was published. It was published in Savannah in 1857. 7 years later, I doubt he sat on it for 7 years. But who knows?
Maybe
They're not sure.
The idea might have started in 1850 and finally got it where they liked it in 80. I don't know.
But they don't dispute that the song was written about memories of sleigh rides in Massachusetts because they don't have sleigh rides in Georgia.
They're bumpy.
Yeah, it would not go well. But this guy was born in 1822, James Ord Piermont, and he composed the music and wrote lyrics for the Holiday Standard. His older sister Juliet married millionaire Morgan, Eunice Spencer Morgan. Their oldest child, John Pierpoint Morgan, followed his father into the banking business, became one of the most powerful financiers in the Gilded Age.
Interesting.
Yeah. So he had some money around him. I think he was just a songwriter.
As a side gig.
He was the son of a fiercely abolitionist Unitarian minister, Reverend John Pierpoint.
Ooh, and yeah, that would be a bit of a problem to him.
Well, yeah, he moved to Georgia though. Yeah.
Okay.
At the age of 14, went off to boarding school, joined the crew of the whaling ship, and went to sea for a decade.
Wow.
Yeah, that's weird, right?
But that's cool.
Nobody does anything for a decade today.
Yeah.
Okay. Then he joined the California Rush in 1849, left his wife and children behind in Massachusetts, where he chased the riches of the West.
Huh.
After several years in the West chasing riches, he came back with no richer than when he left.
I'm surprised that's not a movie. That guy's got an interesting life.
Well, he departed his family. He left his family in 1853, became an organist at a Unitarian church in Savannah.
Huh. So,
and his brother was a pastor. And after the death of his first wife in 1856, now he'd already left her, but she died. So he married Savannah's mayor, Savannah's the daughter of Savannah's mayor. And he left his two children from his first marriage in the North with their grandfather. Sounds like a deadbeat dad.
Well, he
wrote Jingle Bells.
Yeah. Some of the more interesting stories are guys that were not good family men, but
his father and brother are both pastors.
Yeah.
Took apparently aggressive stands against slavery. And while he became a staunch supporter of the Confederacy. And when his brother was forced to close the church because of his viewpoint, he had to move back north. Like, you get out of the South, that's the way you believe type stuff, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So he joined the Confederacy at the 1st Georgia Cavalry and served as company clerk. His father joined the Union side as chaplain of the 22nd in Massachusetts Infantry.
Wow. Huh.
Yeah, so they had opposing viewpoints.
Yeah.
So while he was in the Confederacy, he wrote songs like Strike for the South, Conquer or Die, or Battle Flag. That's what he was, a songwriter.
Yeah.
And he lived out his final years in Florida when he died in 1893. Originally, it was called One Horse Open Sleigh. But in that 1857, it was reissued 2 years later with Jingle Bells. Now, of course, Joe Reed started speaking up against this because this guy was a Confederate.
Right.
Of course, we should burn anything associated with it. But I don't believe that. And we still honor Einstein, and he helped develop the bomb that killed millions of people. let's see. Jingle Bells was not intended to be a Christmas song when it was first written. In fact,
Just
no, it came out
nostalgic of the
just
winter.
a song. It was a Thanksgiving when it came out
Huh.
at church, and it had some lyrics that aren't repeated anymore. Because the songwriter was rebellious, and the less known verse of the song described picking up girls, drag racing on snow, and high speed crashes.
Really?
Yeah. See, I like the song more now.
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. If he was just being nostalgic for his youth in the winter of Massachusetts, then yeah, it's gonna have
Now,
things filled to him.
here's what Joy Reid has a big problem with. The song first performed in blackface. Yeah, there was a group that took it up. That they always did their songs in blackface for some reason. They were just a performing group,
Which is on them, not the song.
probably.
But that, that's applying today's social standards to a completely different social culture,
Yeah,
and that's just ridiculous too. Again, somebody that can't get attention
they
for
were
their own merit.
One Horse Open Sleigh by Johnny Hell, described as a member of the Dandy Darkies. That's what they call themselves, the Dandy Darkies. They put blackface on and sing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that group's still around.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think they had any real hits. Jingle Bells, as just a notoriety, was the first song ever broadcast from space.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 9 days before Christmas in 1965.
Huh.
2 astronauts on the Gemini 6 just completed a rendezvous with Gemini 7 when the crew suddenly gave a troubling report to Mission Control. We have an object. Looks like a satellite going from north to south up the North Pole. It's very low trajectory, traveling from north to south, very high climbing ratio. It looks like it might even be very low. Looks like he might be going to re-enter soon. Stand by. You might just let me try to pick that thing up. A tense report, I guess. Flying object was suddenly broken by the sound of jingle bells. Wally Schrar playing a tiny harmonica, accompanied by Tim Stafford, shaking a handful of small sleigh bells. He brought.
That's funny.
I don't remember that.
I wasn't born.
Well, there you go. You were around. So it was the first one that played from space, and they brought their instruments.
That's cool.
To space.
That's cool.
Little jingle bells and a harmonica. They probably didn't know it was a racist song.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is either, but Joy Reid is sure, because they had the laughing darky thing going on. That's why they have Laughing All the Way, according to Joy Reid. But the lyrics is Laughing All the Way. It's a reference to a racist comedic routine, as they're making fun of people of color called the Laughing Darkies. I think she made all that up.
Well, yeah, just can't get it. People pay attention to her unless she says ridiculous things.
No guidance. No question. This guy was a deadbeat dad.
Yeah,
he supported slavery. He joined the Confederacy. He was probably a disappointment to his father and brother because they were abolitionists.
Yeah.
All that's true, but that doesn't make the song racist.
Right.
But I'm sure if there's a statue, they'd tear it down. We'll be right back. AM 560.
We're the comfort experts, people you can trust. Ask our customers. That's why they count on us. Over 50 years of service, keep us going strong. We've got a name you can depend upon. Hamburger refrigeration and electric Hansburger. Count on us.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. This Christmas holiday, enjoy exclusive savings on our high-quality rechargeable hearing aids. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and shop Christmas holiday deals before they're gone at audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own US-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at lifelock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you. He's fighting for me. He'll drink that old swamp.
Hey, I'm nice to keep you. Russ Mark with you. Chris is here.
I'm here.
Yeah, we're not wearing blackface, either one of us.
No. We're not dandy either.
No, we were just talking about it because you can get away with it. Blazing Saddles, was a big racist movie that could be.
Oh yeah,
It was actually making fun of racism.
I read an article the other day. It made fun of everybody
except
everybody,
including the Irish.
Yeah, that's but yeah, you could not do that today.
I don't know. I don't think so. But it wasn't that long ago that Robert Downey Jr. played blackface in that war movie,
Tropic Thunder.
Tropic Thunder, which was hilarious. But again, I'm looking around like, who allowed him to do that? Are you allowed to do that?
And I was telling you, Joe Rogan asked how to get away with it, and he's like, "Well, I think Ben Stiller's portrayal of the mentally handicapped kid took all the attention away from me being in blackface."
Oh,
yeah. But then you got people getting all up in arms because somebody 40, 50 years ago was at a Halloween party in blackface. That was a different.
That was a Canadian prime minister.
No, I don't even remember. But our culture has changed so much in 40, 50 years. You can't hold somebody accountable to a social structure that's different than today.
It was different.
Yeah,
exactly. But we try to put today's morals on that.
And being in blackface because you're portraying a character that was in blackface, like you mentioned Al Jolson, is different than being in blackface because you want to be insulting to.
Al Jolson was part of that entertainment group that would have been like the Dandy Darkies that performed a lot in blackface for some reason, and apparently it was widely
accepted.
Yeah,
and you can't do a story today about him.
Well,
and not have that part of him, his.
I'd be real careful with it.
Yeah.
Well, it was a Jimmy Fallon that used to do blackface on his show all the time, The Man Show.
I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the Man Show existing, but I didn't.
Yeah, he put on blackface to be one of the basketball stars.
Yeah, but that was many years ago.
Not that many.
Well, the way our society changes these days,
but now he's like the biggest woke warrior in the world.
I haven't seen his show for forever.
Nah, nobody watches it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't get the live broadcast anymore.
Yeah. Oh, you can get that for
I
free.
Stream. Well, with an antenna,
just put an antenna on the house.
My reception was not good with the antenna, so I just stream everything now.
Just check your homeowner association. Make sure you can put one up.
We have ours inside the ceiling. We had a high enough ceiling in the back room. I just put it up in the inside the ceiling.
Yeah. Oh, did your homeowner association know that?
They don't know. Well, I don't really have a homeowners association. No, nobody would care. We're out in the county, but I didn't want the lightning threat. So,
Edward reminded me that I cannot. I've got to state I'm not giving legal advice. When I was talking about coming across the border.
Oh,
well, I think I did mention quite a bit. I was reading it from an article, but check it yourself.
Yeah,
particularly a lot of these drugs I don't know.
Yeah,
and stuff like that. But he's right to say that. No,
I think you made it clear you were not well informed.
No, I'm not. Yeah.
And that's another thing about our
you said
society.
you could be sued by someone who fails to stay calm, and they claim you gave them that advice, which I.
Oh, we're such a
Is that illegal to say? When you're approached by authorities, you should try to stay calm. Don't run.
Well,
I don't know.
I think he's saying that if you say that as advice and then somebody doesn't do it, they can sue you or something like that. It's
wow.
everyone can sue for everything these days. It's crazy.
And you don't patent the song, you copyrighted it. Oh, now look.
I did catch that.
Well,
but is that what they said in the
yes, the article did, which I thought was odd, and maybe at the time that's what they did.
I've noticed in articles there's a lot of times where they're just not paying attention to the words they use.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I could have been passing that along, but I thought it was weird to say it that way. That he patented it instead of copyrighted it. But I don't know what they did in the 1850s.
I don't either.
I have no idea. I'll have to find that. But yeah, I did pick up on that myself. It sounded weird.
I wasn't going to nitpick about it, but
okay, the IRS issue of me doing it myself was not legal advice. That wasn't legal advice. I was just saying I don't think I'm in any legal trouble. I don't need to have a lawyer necessarily.
Yeah. There's a
check it out yourself.
The whole thing about being worried about what you can say and be sued and the idea reminds me. There's a commercial talking about I come from a time when I didn't have to be told don't try this at home. People were smart enough to not need to be told
don't try this at home.
home.
These are professionals. Don't jump off a building, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we're in a different time.
How many illegal aliens have left the United States this year, do you think? Since Trump's been in office.
That
either deported or self-deported.
I have no idea.
I'll get to that in a minute. Let me take a phone call. You're on the air.
Yeah, good morning, Russ. It's Ernie.
Morning, Ernie.
I was having a question for you since you were talking about the IRS.
Sure.
Did they ever hire any of the 75,000 agents they were going to add?
That's a great question. I read early on they started hiring them. But I don't know what ever come. I don't think they ever got anywhere near 87,000 if they did start doing it. But I haven't read anything on it, Ernie. I haven't seen that. But I would guess that's been diverted to something else. I would think. I would hope. What they need to do is hire more agents that actually do the bookwork versus agents with guns. Because I mean, I need somebody to sit down and to discuss my issues with them, and to get somebody on the phone is nearly impossible. I have called them many times in the last few months to work on this, and I literally will be on hold for 2 hours, and I'll get the music for 2 hours, and at the end of 2 hours, it'll say, "We cannot connect you with the person you're looking for. Goodbye."
Oh yeah, it's horrible.
Oh man, yeah, it's not easy.
A few years back, and my accountant said, "Well, the IRS says you owe $50,000."
Yeah,
and I had to go through that whole deal of it. So I got the same, buddy.
And that's but my issue is we sent them the money. They held on to it. Some of it was 5 years ago. They sent it all back starting this year, and we started calling like, "Why are you sending me $20,000? Why are you sending me another $30,000?" And then we got the bills, and we were told the paperwork needs to be redone. So then they billed us again for all the stuff with late fees and interest that were bigger than the original taxes.
Oh yeah, but then it was 85,000 instead of 50 or something. Right?
Yeah, it's just crazy. It's crazy, but I've talked to agents that are very nice, and they're working through it. And they go, oh, and in fact, I called. I used to have an agent come on the air all the time. That was one of the enforcement agents with the gun. And I called him up. I said, "Well, you might as well come and get me." And he said, "Well, what's the problem, Russ?" And I told him, and he says, Russ, we're after guys that are hiding and not paying.
Right.
Yours is just a bookkeeping thing. I'm not going to come get you. You need to do something first.
They used to have a local office in the Crescent Center building years ago. But I don't know what your office is now. If it's still up there or not.
Yeah.
But at that time, you could walk in and talk to somebody.
Yeah. Well, that would be nice. I don't think they have enough personnel to do what they're supposed to. I mean, the amount of times I've been on hold and all that stuff, it's been very consuming, very consuming.
Yeah, it's frustrating because you feel like you can't really go do anything because you got hold of this very important issue that you want to take care of.
Yeah.
So anyway,
and my
have a great day,
my
Russ.
fact checker tells me they did not hire the agent.
Oh, great, good. I hope they
And
spent it on something that was worthwhile.
they were looking for harassment agents, not bookkeeping. That would have helped me. I appreciate it, man. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And something one agent told me, her name was Anderson,
Mm-hmm.
nice lady, and she really walked through the thing for me and was very helpful. And she said, Russ, just so you know, I'm taking notes of everything. And they really like to see that you're so cooperative and
Right.
helpful.
Yeah.
And all that. And she's the one that clued me in on stuff I probably already understood, but she made the comment because I guess it's not common.
Oh yeah, yeah. I don't know anyone that can confidently say, "Oh yeah, I understand everything going on in the tax system," except even among tax professionals, it's a complicated system.
I'm not saying they understand. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
No, she was very helpful, and I told her at the time. I said, look, if I need to hire another agency to do this for me, she says, Russ, it's real simple. Let me just walk it through you if you want. If you want to, I can just walk it through you. You don't need to hire it. It's not that difficult.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. And because if she'd have said you better hire somebody, I probably would have. I don't know if she could give me that advice, but
and she's probably in a situation where she expects the people that she's dealing with to not know everything that's going on, to not understand the system and to not know their rights and things. So she's, we were dealing with our insurance company and they were using terminology made no sense to me. Just talking like I was, their peer working right beside them. I understood everything about it.
Right.
And I didn't. And there was all kinds of confusion. If you know you've got a complicated system and other people are not going to understand it, start with educate them. Like she was doing with you. This is what you need to do,
and that's the type of people we need at the IRS.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, why they didn't call me 5 years ago when things weren't matching?
Right.
I was sending them the money and they didn't know where to put it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
And I don't ask that question. That would be hostile.
They needed 87,000.
I don't know. We'll be right back. AM 560 KBLU. It's the top of the hour.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3". He's fighting for you.
This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
He'll drain that old swamp, just like he said.
The latest push in an escalating effort to oust Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. The Venezuelan government called it an international act of piracy after President Trump was asked what might happen to the oil, and he replied, "We'll keep it, I guess."
Fox's Jackie Hyde at the White House.
Attorney General Ted Bondi posted video showing U.S. forces rappelling onto the vessel from a helicopter. She said the FBI, Homeland Security, and Coast Guard, along with the U.S. military, carried out a seizure warrant for a crude tanker used to transport sanctioned oil from Venezuela and Iran.
And a Venezuelan opposition leader who just got the Nobel Peace Prize. Here's the seizure of that oil, looking at the regime backing terror.
To cut those flows. And once it happens and repression is weakened, it's all.
Maria Corina Machado said that in Oslo, Norway, after escaping Venezuela, coming out of 11 months of hiding, the day after her daughter accepted the Peace Prize on her mom's behalf. The Senate will vote on completing Obamacare plans today, and neither might succeed. Democrats want to extend the tax credit set to expire at the end of the year to avoid a spike up in the cost of coverage for millions of Americans. Republicans don't want an extension. Their plan would let people have that money in health savings accounts. Senator Bill Cassidy tells Fox,
this is a way to give the American people the power of the purse and not give the profit to the insurance company.
We just got an update on unemployment. First-time claims spiked up last week by 44,000, 236,000. The number of people continuing to collect jobless benefits dropped by 99,000, the lowest level since April, 1.83 million. The day after the Fed made another 0.25% interest rate cut, though President Trump was not impressed with only a bigger cut.
The head of the Federal Reserve said,
America's listening to Fox News.
I'm Ed, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard of it. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the cost of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds, even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the Big Wireless bill.
Our plan starts at just $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
From the News 11's information desk, I'm Jelena Canada. A new middle school is opening next school year in Yuma. The Mary School Academy is expanding its school system with a new charter middle school. The school will be added to its Yuma South campus and will feature facility upgrades with a focus on technology-enhanced learning. It will be open to 6th and 7th graders for the 2026-27 school year, and 8th grade will be the following year. It'll provide students with a unique experience compared to a traditional middle school. The school will also feature Yuma's first esports program. Plus, an abandoned dog has found a new home. The dog Stevie, found alone, blind, and starving at Lake Mitri, trapped in some bushes. Luckily for Stevie, local Nathan Ivy heard his cries and hiked through the mountains to find the blind dog. Catch us on the TV Center on News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for local news, weather, and sports.
What's up, Yuma? And hello, Russ Clark Show listeners. Johnny Porter here, and I just made the switch to Allo Fiber, and it's a game changer. Lightning fast speeds for streaming, working from home, and gaming. No buffering or slow down speed. It's time to ditch the glitch and switch to Allo Fiber.
There's a man in D.C.
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark with you. Chris Larson with me.
I'm here.
Phone lines are open 928-344-5258. 2.5 million is the answer to that question that you forgot I asked.
Okay.
How many illegals have left under
Oh,
Trump's
yeah.
line?
Yeah. I did forget you. Yeah.
Well, I know you. Well, you're old.
2.5 million out of
the
how
United
many do you
States
think?
Since Trump's been
Well,
around.
I mean, out of how many illegal aliens do you think?
Oh, I don't know. What you hear, like 50 million
Yeah.
from some people, or 30 million. I don't.
Yeah, but 2.5 is a significant
Yes. Now,
chunk.
1.9 million were self-deported.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there's no way that ICE agents were able to get a hold of that many.
They didn't have enough ICE agents.
Yeah.
You know, they've been expanding.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know how much.
you know, after Doge did all those cuts, my comment was often, you do make the cuts, you see where you need people to actually function in the government, and then you rehire them back. And I would think ICE agents and IRS agents are meet those criteria that we need those. So we should be hiring them back. But yeah, that's and I'm glad that there's so many self-deporting because it's good for them, it's good for the country. They can come back, legally. They get they're getting that $1,000 check,
Well,
It's
that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason people, and there's more than just that.
Mhm.
If you leave voluntarily, and I know they do commercials on it all the time.
Mhm.
If you leave voluntarily, then you have the option to return, and you're
Legally,
not going to be
right.
kicked out. You're not going to raid your house.
Yeah.
All those kind of things.
You can
know.
leave on your own terms, you can make plans, you can, say your goodbyes, tie all the things together.
Like Tricia McLaughlin just said, she's the assistant secretary for DHS. Illegal aliens are hearing our message to leave now.
Mhm.
They know that if they don't, we will find them, we will arrest them, and they will never return.
Yeah.
Of course, that's a more unpleasant situation than getting $1,000.
Yeah.
And my understanding is they also you get a plane ticket, and then
Yeah.
it says that in this article that if you go to the home mobile app, the U.S. Customs and Border Protection mobile app, the users can receive a complimentary plane ticket home and a $1,000 bonus upon return.
And that is
Much better
yeah,
than
it's
handcuffs.
well, and it's better for the, United States government because it's probably cheaper doing that than to pay all these ICE agents tracking down these people
See,
and going through the process, and then legal issues and just
on
just
on
you wanna
top of that,
we'll just send you home.
on top of that, any unpaid fines for failing to deport in a timely manner will also be forgiven.
That's brilliant.
See,
Brilliant.
they got all those
I love
incentives.
it. Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning.
Good morning.
Somebody backing up.
Yeah, I'm backing up. Let me put it neutral. I was gonna let it pass, buddy, but you said it twice,
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
so I gotta call in and be your backup fact checker.
All right, man. I need it at times.
I know. I enjoy it. I guarantee you, this IRS agent that you're mildly infatuated with
Well,
did not tell you that let me walk through you.
yes, she did.
Walk it through you.
Yeah, she did. She was going to walk me through the application details. Yes, she did.
But she's not going to walk the details through you. She's going to walk you through it.
Oh, you're talking grammatically. Yes, correct. I probably screwed it up grammatically. Correct.
That's my only complaint.
Okay.
Hey, if that's his only complaint for the day, that's not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah. I'm just getting going. I've been listening in off and on, but I haven't heard anything else to get me excited. So that was it.
Oh man, that's a good morning. Man.
Yeah.
Well, go back to your coffee then, man.
Oh, I got one right here, and I'm delivering a couple from
Yeah.
Starbucks.
Well, don't take any sips out of them. Be nice to those people.
Man, they close those bags up so tight. Them and McDonald's, man, you can never sneak any fries out of them McDonald's.
Not that you would ever try.
Of course not. But I've heard of people that do it.
Or so I've heard.
Yeah, so you've heard. Take care, man. Bye-bye.
All right.
Yeah, he's delivering.
Yeah.
For Uber Eats or something, or one of them. There's a few of them out there.
DoorDash.
DoorDash.
Grubhub.
I think DoorDash is one he meant. I think he might probably belong to all of them. He kind of
Yeah, that's the way you do it.
a lot of them do that.
And I know a guy that was doing DoorDash, and he's like, just DoorDash alone,
Of course, it
doesn't get enough business for you to make it.
It's great to take that for those companies that are using them to tape it up so tightly.
Yeah.
That the people feel comfortable. Like my driver didn't mess with this.
Right. Yeah.
Like I'm not. I feel like half my French fries are gone.
And I'm sure that's why they do it.
I would guess so, just to take away any question.
Yeah, because that would be tempting.
I don't know. No,
You know, when I pick up food for the family, they know I'm eating some of it on the way.
yeah.
home.
Well, that's different. That's family. Something else that's in this article with the illegal aliens.
What's that?
Is the opportunity to come into the country.
Yeah.
Okay, you do have opportunity, and Trump just announced it. It's finally on a website. The website is open right now for the Trump Gold Card, and it's a government website. It's not an independent website. It's a government website.
Uh-huh.
And he writes on Truth Social, the United States government's Trump Gold Card is here today.
What's the gold card?
It's a direct path to citizenship for all qualified and vetted people.
Oh,
so exciting. Our great American companies can finally keep their invaluable talent. Leave site open in 30 minutes.
Is that the one that
Live site opens in 30 minutes. He wrote this yesterday. It's open right now. It's live. I signed on.
Is that the one with a huge filing fee?
$1 million.
It's yeah.
$1 million.
Yeah.
And early on when he was talking about this thing, and I thought it was I thought it was, just something he was saying that sounded great, but
Yeah.
will never happen.
He actually did it.
It's live right now.
I
And
can't
it's,
even.
there's a gold card, and then there's a platinum card. I clicked on the platinum card, and it's not available yet. I don't know what that
Okay.
is. The gold card's $1 million. I imagine platinum's more expensive.
Yeah.
And then there's a corporate card available.
Huh.
So a corporation can move here, I guess. I don't know the details,
Yeah.
but and I don't know how much it is
So
for the.
it's interesting to me that we're working on, cutting down on illegal immigration, getting people out that shouldn't be here, but at the same time, creating new ways
Yes.
people can be here
only
legally.
productive people with cash
Yeah.
that are probably going to help our economy versus the
Yeah.
ones that are going to
That's
be in a
interesting.
hotel.
I don't know about $1 million filing fee, but it's
I like it.
interesting. Yeah.
I can't afford it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Hey, good morning, Russ. How are you doing?
Doing well, Carl. Good morning.
You were talking about deporting people.
Well, yeah, they're doing it at record pace.
Yeah. Well, if I'm not mistaken, isn't that what the ICE were doing down there in Tucson? And then our newly elected Grijalva,
Yeah.
she down there protesting them.
Yeah, she was at the scene, and I don't know what all she did, but she says she got tear gas, which we know is not true because it's all on tape. But yeah, she was not. I don't think she got in the face of an ICE agent because they probably would have handcuffed her.
Yeah,
I would assume.
Well, they should have. She's down there breaking her oath of office, and she hasn't been in there very long, and she's down there creating problems for the United States government. And that's exactly what she did. And she should be held to a higher standard. To me, I should be able to go down and mess with the ICE and claim stupidity.
Yeah.
But I don't think she can.
Right.
She's not doing her job because she's breaking her oath.
I would assume she's out there trying to get headlines like Crockett, JC Crockett, and AOC and stuff because there's a reason to get it. There's a pot of gold getting that kind of headline. People will send you money.
Well, that's exactly what she's doing. I see her face popping up on Facebook all the time now. They're getting complaints.
Sure.
So and that's exactly what they're doing. And they I don't know about the American citizens would be giving these people money. Well, maybe it's not the American people that are doing it. Maybe it's the illegals that are giving her all the money so they can stay here.
I don't know. I would be surprised if she ends up joining the squad or something. I wonder why she hasn't done it yet.
Well, she's acting just
She
like
sounds
him.
like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just a perfect. Want to get her picture in the paper. She's going to be worse than her daddy was.
Well, her daddy didn't try to get notoriety. He just
No.
He was from an older time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he would get a little long in the tooth anyway. So.
Yeah.
But
Aren't
he
we
just
all?
got, yes, but I guess if you're lucky you can get long in the tooth.
That's right.
A lot of people don't even probably know what the hell they're talking about when they get that horse get long in the tooth.
We'll say old then. We got to get old.
Yeah. Well, growing old is mandatory. Growing up, they say, is negotiable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still working at it, buddy.
Thank you, man.
But anyway, y'all have a good day.
Be good.
Too. Take care.
We were talking about food and all that, and my fact checker Edward says, I'm always more concerned with the food the kids get me than the food delivery guys because the food delivery guys are not in my will. What kind of kids are you raising there, Edward?
That's funny.
I don't think he has anything to worry about. Nah. Yeah. Oh, we were talking about blackface. I forgot about Ted Danson.
Right.
One of the listeners told me about Ted Danson. Now, he did get a lot of ridicule, and so did Whoopi Goldberg. Whoopi was his date at the time. They were dating.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, that's right.
And they went to some kind of Golden Globe or something.
And that's just if his date, who is a black woman who is
It was a
in the
Friars
media,
Club roast is where it was.
and that's the kind of goofy things that happen.
But you don't know. You don't know if it's going to be. I would never risk it.
No, but I mean, in his situation, he's dating a very vocal social in the media person who's black
Yeah.
at an event where it's all about comedy
Roasting.
and
Yeah.
roasting people. In that context,
Didn't
he
matter.
should have felt safe,
It wasn't.
but society went nuts
It
about
was.
it.
It was.
And it's a case of you don't have a if you were upset about, I don't think you had a right
And
because she was standing right next to him
yeah, laughing.
with it.
And
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. he did Tropic Thunder after that. So I'm like,
Well,
what
and
guts does that guy
yeah.
have?
But again, context matters. He was doing it to show how wrong it was
Well,
to do it.
he did a great job of it. I think it was
Yeah.
Tyrus off of Gutfield that said he has no problems with Robert Downey Jr. He did a great job being black. See, and you got to look around see before you laugh at that. You know, I mean, like Tyrus was actually he's not too offended. I mean, he's anti-racist. In other words, a lot of like Joy Reid's very racist.
Yeah.
Every micro expression, you walk funny, you looked at me wrong.
Right.
What you meant when you said that was slavery.
What do you mean, you people?
Yeah, all that
Yeah.
stuff. You know, people have a chip on the
That
shoulder.
group of people.
Yeah, looking for that. Tyrus isn't like that.
Yeah.
Of course, he's not a guy I would want to offend. He's like 6'9" or something. I don't know. And he's a huge MMA fighter, bodyguard, huge with a good sense of humor. I think he would smash you.
Well, I wouldn't want to offend anybody.
No,
but yeah, certainly not
somebody
like
that big. No,
Um,
or you don't want to offend anybody wealthy.
yeah,
You know,
that can
they can hurt you in more ways than
worse way.
yeah, yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, people have just gotten so sensitive about things. Context matters.
Yeah. Well,
when you tell a joke with one group of people,
look.
it's hilarious. In another with another group of people, it's wrong.
But the
So,
times change so rapidly, you can't keep up with it.
exactly.
So don't. So
And
that's why nobody does it because
and that's what I'm saying. People are holding somebody accountable for in a different time period based on today's standards, and that's just wrong. Stop it.
it's yeah, good luck with the stop it.
Yes.
Erica Trump's been in the news. I like her a lot.
Which one is Erica?
I'm not Erica Trump. Erica Kirk. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Famous last name, but different. Erica Kirk. And her husband was just
brilliant guy.
A great guy and murdered right in front of everybody and everything. And he's young.
What? Yep.
Which was just horrible. And of course, whatever she's going through, she's tough.
Mm-hmm.
And
everything she's going through publicly, which
correct
makes it that much harder. Yeah,
not easy.
Yeah.
Well, she was talking yesterday. I think it was yesterday about the situation of conspiracy theorists and the things that are coming out now with Charlie Kirk and all that stuff.
She needs to cut off the
Well, she's not though. She's getting out in public. She's getting out there and doing it. I have great respect for her.
Yeah.
But we will build, and she says, we will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular. Almost sounds like Trump, right? But can I have one thing?
It would be huge.
But can I have one thing?
What's that?
Can my babies have one thing that we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to worry about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is my husband. Yes, this was Charlie Kirk to the world. And I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that. But this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents, one thing.
And I'm disgusted that she felt the need to ask for that.
Well, it's real.
Yeah, no.
It says that conspiracy theorists have taken nothing from her. And she was on the Harris Faulkner show on Fox. I like Harris Faulkner. She says, as she told Harris Faulkner, doesn't have the time to address the noise. My silence does not mean I'm not complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and the other handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We're all busy building.
Yeah.
And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way, and they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard. And I get that. They're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anything, anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this.
Mhm.
No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, and anyone else out there. And her message to the conspiracy theorists: come after her.
Yeah.
Don't
leave the kids alone.
but not Turning Point USA family.
Oh, yeah.
Come after her, not the Turning Point. Come after me. Call me names. I don't care. Call me what you want. Go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk Show family, when you go out for people that I love and you're making hundreds of thousands of dollars every single episode going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this, no, I'll never seen you like. And no, Faulkner says, I've never seen you like this. And I didn't see this. I'm reading it, but I didn't see it. Faulkner's like, wow, that's not what I've seen from you. Said, this is righteous anger because this is not okay. It's not healthy. This is a mind virus. Yes, I believe in our justice system. I do. We have a hell of a team working on this. Excuse my French. But this is not okay.
Yeah.
So Faulkner says, so you want me to put these people back in the box where they've been creeping from? I don't care what box you're in, but just know that your words are very powerful. And we are human. My team is not a machine, and they're not robots. They are human. We have more death threats on our team, our outside, than I've ever seen. I have kidnapping threats, you name it. We have it. And my poor team is exhausted. And every time they bring this back up, that what we're supposed to do, relieve that trauma. We live that trauma all over again. They watched my husband get murdered. I have no idea how I would have reacted if I was there that day. But thank God, thank the good Lord that I did not have to see that happen. But my team, they are rocked the core. So why every single day do they have to be dragged through the mud, analyzed, hyper analyzed? Strong girl. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Who was that, Russ? I just got the tail end.
Erica Kirk.
Oh, yeah.
Strong lady.
Yeah, heard that the other day.
Yeah, and she was like invisible when Charlie Kirk was active.
Yeah.
She was the supporting wife.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So yeah, I called because you were talking about these illegal aliens all over the United States and stuff.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the 315 cremated remains they found outside of Las Vegas, Nevada?
No.
Yeah, they're urns. They're a bunch of cremated urns. They're outside of a Searchlight, Nevada. I saw something and I read about it and I said, yeah, it's true. It was part of the, I guess the location was in DLM land. But I wonder how many of these urns were from a cemetery, a crematorium, and they were just, no one ever picked them up. So they decided, well, just toss them out here in the field.
Huh. Interesting.
No, I didn't hear anything about that. Searchlight's smaller than Welton.
Oh yeah, I love Searchlight. Good mom and pop restaurant right there. Been there many times. Also, I saw conversations last night. People were talking about this. There was some rumors of a whole bunch of politicians who had accepted money from Venezuela, and even our senator's name was on that list. I heard.
Really?
Have you heard?
Not surprising.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I wonder if someone just saw that on Facebook. But from what I understand, there was a long list. A lot of Democrats, Independents, and Republicans.
That just doesn't make sense.
To me,
But, and accepting money, were they aware of, because they got campaign committees that are accepting money. Doesn't necessarily need to mean the individual knew.
Yeah, the candidate knew about it, but maybe people they had working for them knew it.
Right.
No.
So I just wonder if it was one of those Facebook rumors that about the politician. Now, on our Searchlight, I looked at a couple of flights and you go, yep, it was.
Hey.
And I believe it could have been from a lot of homeless and maybe illegal aliens that they found dead, and and they took them to a funeral home and cremated them, and they're there and got rid of them.
Yeah. Well, I'd want to make sure that story's real too. I never saw it, but it could be. I mean, somebody's pretty stupid to do that. They can trace that back, I would imagine, somehow. Find out where they came from.
Yeah, that's good. You unless they were homeless, they have no ID, or people they found in the desert, illegal aliens.
Well, I mean, it has to be a crematorium that put the urns out there.
That's what it was, a crematorium. Yeah.
Yeah, those guys got some splaining to do.
We got a lot, 315 people.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty heinous right there.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Where's the Hillary getting at?
I don't know.
It's you. I don't get a black face. I got a brown face.
There you go. Thank you, sir. You got it. Hillary Clinton. The Clintons have been rumored to be. I mean, so many of their friends have just died tragic deaths.
Yeah, friends.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And there's been articles about that forever.
Well, yeah, that one woman, during the campaign, that in a car accident or something that was suspicious. That was just the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in politics.
One of my listeners is asking, is this the triplets now? AOC, and he put AC, I think he meant JC, and AG for golf. Maybe she's trying to make that.
Yeah, she certainly.
She's trying to step up.
Yeah, using the same techniques, tactics to get attention and get her name out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Border Patrol report about her situation was they pepper sprayed somebody who was close enough that the spray cloud.
Well, you could smell it a block away.
That
doesn't mean
she was encountered by the cloud of it. She wasn't targeted and wasn't doing anything that they would target her for, but she put herself out there.
It's better to claim that you were sprayed by Border Patrol. Do you notice how Crockett now talks about herself in the third person, calls herself JC?
I don't actually know who you're talking about.
Jasmine Crockett out of Texas, the representative out of Texas.
Oh,
most outspoken there is. Yeah, if you haven't looked her up, don't. It's not worth the trouble.
Is she one of the ones losing her seat with the prediction?
Well, but she just put her name in for running for Senate.
Okay. So she's going to kick out try to kick out one of the senators.
Well, there's an open seat, I think, but
okay.
But her chance of being Senate, I would guess, would be not good.
No.
In Texas, I mean, that's statewide.
Right.
In her district, which is a majority district, there was a 30% advantage for her there. There isn't a 30% advantage in the state. No.
Yeah, it's she's just another case of somebody in power wanting to stay in power.
But
find a way to
keep a close eye on it. Who knows? I mean, she's going to get tons of money because she's outspoken and everything.
And that's the nature of the business now. You got to get known in one way or the other in any way, shape, or form. And there's no such thing as bad press.
Yes, there is. Epstein's not good. Yeah. He gets a lot of press. Jeffrey Dahmer got a lot of press. We'll be back.
Well, it's all fun and games until you're stuck with bad internet. Not so much fun. Say goodbye to bad internet. Say hello to local support from a company that believes in better. Say goodbye to the spinning wheel of doom and the regular equipment rebooting. And say hello to a hassle-free experience. Say goodbye to the internet struggles of yesterday and say hello to a provider that picks our community and provides a product and service that's locally rooted right here in our hometown. Find out more at allofiber.com. That's allofiber.com.
As the nights get colder, some Yuma families are simply hoping for something warm to sleep in. This holiday season, El Dorado Broadcasters and Avenir Financial invite you to join DJs for PJs, a pajama drive, bringing comfort to those who need it most. Please donate new, unused, warm pajamas, any size, from baby to adult, now through December 14th. Drop them off at our station, Avenir Financial, or any local Little Caesars Pizza. Your gift will help local families through Amberley's Place and Arizona's Children Association, because sometimes a little warmth can mean the world.
At Exceptional Community Hospital, we are redefining what emergency care should feel like. Fast, personal, and compassionate. Our experienced ER physicians and staff are here 24/7 to care for your unexpected illness or injury. Don't wait for emergency care when you can be seen in minutes. With short wait times, you'll get the prompt attention you need because every minute matters. And if your recovery takes longer, we provide the inpatient care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital. Compassionate care. Exceptional service.
There's a man in D.C.
Hey, I'm 560 KBL. You Clark, Chris here.
I'm here.
Let me see. 13 Republicans have defined the GOP leadership.
Oh, were we done with the last story? Because the caller can.
With the Erica? Yeah.
Okay.
I let the phone ring, I didn't even answer.
Yeah, I
it.
saw that. Yeah, her words needed to be said
But
without being
but
interrupted.
I didn't want to interrupt what Erica Curtin had said. And she's a fabulous woman. I admire the way she's been through a heinous ordeal.
And the way she's handling it and standing up for her, her turning point people, her family.
Showing strength.
And it sounds like, and I don't know what she's referring to, it sounds like some of her supporters are saying she's not doing enough or something like that.
I hadn't heard that.
But that's what it seems like.
I think the conspiracy theories are when there's causing her problems. People that are calling saying, there's stuff about that. Plus the
inside
people
jobs.
with, off death threats, kidnapping threats.
And that's, So she's, I'm all for her. She can do no wrong at this point.
My fact checker sent me a copy, that letter from Bureau's former intelligence chief, released the article about it, talking about the people that they're supporting, I guess.
Oh, really? So it's from Maduro's office saying they sent money to.
I'll have to take a look at that.
Oh, that's interesting.
He's looking for names, but this just one of these intelligence chiefs wrote a letter. It says, "I write to atone for my sins by revealing the entire truth, so the United States can defend itself from the dangers I witnessed for so many years."
That's interesting.
I'll have to read that some other time. I can't read it all right now.
So it's Maduro's former intelligence chief turning on Maduro saying,
"See, if he's not careful, that guy's going to get death threats."
Well, that Nobel Peace Prize woman couldn't even accept the prize in person.
And he says he's not been able to find the information through the list of the U.S. senators, members of Congress who took money. But if anyone can find it, it would be him.
Right.
I mean, anybody outside the government that has access.
Well, that's a story to be keep an eye on.
Well, that would be that would be a lot to explain if you were on that list of people receiving money from Hugo Chavez. That would be you got to look the voters in the eye and tell
them. Hugo Chavez or Maduro?
I mean Maduro. Yeah, you'd have to look a lot of voters in the eye.
Because he's not going to send money just because he supports your policy. He's going to say, "I want some influence." So that would not be a situation I would think of.
It is about that.
The committee accepted it without knowing who it was from.
The 13 Republicans that are defying the leadership work with the Democrats to advance the repeal of a Trump order on federal unions. Now, Trump put an order on federal unions that that blocked collective bargaining with some federal agencies, which I'm not really against. A lot of federal agencies, like the air traffic controllers, they have blocks and they're not allowed to strike and stuff like that because
Right.
it would shut down. Now they did a strike when Reagan,
Right.
and Reagan says, "Well, if you don't come back tomorrow, you're all fired."
And he did.
And he fired all of them
Yep.
that were on strike anyway. You know, and people said, "Well, it'd be impossible to fire us all because we're the only ones who know how to do this. You can't do it." And then boom, done. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We Americans have a long history of finding ways to make it work.
So the
Nobody
oh,
has
it,
ever
it took a while to spool back up and get
Right.
people trained. And now we don't have them trained again. Now we have a shortage again because of DEI. You know,
But
the
there's a lot of things going on with the air traffic control
Well,
system. That's one of
what
them.
what happened during the Biden administration is they needed to fill all those roles with other than white people.
Mhm.
So they went to the schools, and there's only a limited amount of schools that do this, and they changed the criteria to get in and to get into the class. They downgraded it
Mhm.
so they could get more, whatever the DEI wanted. And by doing that, they filled the class with diversity instead of intelligence. So the dropout rate was so high, they weren't graduating enough students to fill the ranks.
Hmm.
Yeah. So now we're short air traffic controllers because of DEI.
Among other
Wonderful.
things. Yeah.
Wonderful. But I guess the Jared Golden, he's a representative out of Maine, Democrat, who came up with the measure to override it because the unions are complaining that you're taking away their power because the collective bargaining and all that stuff
Right.
that you can't have it. And they shouldn't have unions in the federal government anyway.
I don't know. There's
That was
there's
Franklin
pros
Delano
and
Roosevelt
cons
said that
to
they shouldn't because it's a monopoly and you can't, you have it's not like an independent company like Ford, Chevy, GM. Ford goes on strike, the other car companies fill in
Right.
and you lose. And because of that, the union's got to be more careful
Right.
about we can't ask for the world because these other car companies will come in and take our business and then we don't have employment.
Right.
But you can't do that with federal government because there's only one IRS. If they all go on strike, there's 0 people doing it.
Right.
And it's government stuff. And Roosevelt knew that, and he said that. And of course, it ended up happening. We got all this. But the reason that they did it, and according to this article anyway, and they passed a bill to override the veto 222 to 200 because these Republicans enjoy it. Well, these Republicans are in liberal areas.
I was going to ask that when you read the headline.
They were supported by these unions.
Yeah.
To be elected.
And you got the dilemma of any public servant. In order to serve, you have to be elected. And so sometimes you got to walk a fine line between doing what you think is right and doing what you think is going to get you elected, so you can continue doing what you think is right. So,
well, in order to get that bill on the floor, even the floor. I mean, the speaker has to put it on there, but there's an exception.
Yeah.
That you can go around it, which is rarely done. It's not often done. It's a discharge petition, but you rarely get enough votes to get one.
Right.
A discharge petition. Well, they got that, and they got it passed, or whatever around them. I don't know what happens now. I guess.
Well, that's what they did with the Epstein file thing too. Yeah.
Well, they got it around. I don't know what will happen to these 13. They probably will get a good tongue lashing. So you shouldn't do that.
But if they're Republicans elected in those types of
situations
of districts, they're probably fairly powerful within that district. So you wouldn't want to necessarily primary them because they already accomplished something great by getting elected in a non-Republican district. That might be hard to replace. So, yeah, it's a tough call.
Yeah.
And is it worth the fight? Is that issue because there's so many other
That's
issues.
my question. You don't know.
So they apparently didn't feel it was worth the fight. Just get elected so I can fight the other things. I'm going to assume that that's the case for them.
Well, guess out of 213, oh no, 209 Democrats, how many do you think voted for it? All of them. Exactly. All of
Well,
them.
and you don't know how much behind the scenes is going on. Did Mike Johnson want to keep their seats? And so he told them, go ahead and vote for it. It's not worth it. They might have already got the approval of the heads up, higher ups. So I don't know. There's all kinds of backroom dealings in politics.
Yeah. Well, it's one that gets overturned, but we'll see where it goes. But that's the way the system works.
Yep.
It's okay.
Going the way it's supposed to. Yeah.
The richest guy in the world is accusing Elon Omar of treason. Is that a big deal?
Elon Omar?
Yeah, the representative Omar.
Oh,
out of.
When I hear Elon, I think of Musk.
No. Oh, it's Elon Musk. Ilhan, 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 Omar, Elon, and Ilhan.
Okay.
Just I didn't enunciate it correctly. On X, Elon Musk wrote on X that when Omar, was talking about safeguarding the Somali's interests in the United States while assuring that her constituency administration would do what I asked it to do.
Yeah, that crazy.
Yeah, Musk wrote, sounds like treason to me. Now, most people could say that. Like, it sounds like treason and just gets blown over. No big deal. But the richest guy in the world says it. I guess it gets more attention. Is that?
Well, it wasn't very long ago. You said don't upset rich people.
So. Yeah, they have resources.
Yeah.
Resources.
I don't know if it qualifies as treason. There certainly could be some criminal questions.
He can say it whatever he wants, but I thought, it gets headlines when Elon Musk says something.
Yeah.
Most everybody on social media says crazy stuff. It doesn't get a headline ever.
Right.
But leader of the free world, richest guy, I guess they put more weight in it. Yeah. They just do. She made those remarks back in 24. And
oh, really?
Yeah, it's just not new. It's just been repeated recently.
I thought it was. Has she been repeating it? I thought she's been repeating it.
Well, she's been repeating some strong language about support, but I don't know that she ever said again that the administration will do what we asked them to do. Remember, back in 24, Trump wasn't president.
Yeah. Well, I saw something recently where she again referred to illegal aliens as her constituents.
Well, I was so surprised that the Somalia group of people has such power in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
because they're big enough in Minneapolis just to control to have an influence in the city election.
Right.
And the city election, they say whatever goes in Minneapolis goes in the state. That's not necessarily true, I don't think, in all cases, but that's the impression they have. And so Somalis know that they can sway a ton of influence.
Yeah, I heard something about that.
And that even influenced maybe to the administration, which meant the Biden administration.
Right.
Because Biden wanted to win the state. So yeah, if you guys want to steal billions, go ahead, maybe. I have no idea why they couldn't see that, catch it. I mean, when you look at some of the records on how these different organizations grew, like autism and stuff, where the amount of dollars they gave away just was going crazy high compared to where they were. They just kept adding so much money for a small group of people. It was insane, and you would think that somebody's going to say, "Hey, wait a minute. Why are we 10 times higher than what we were just a couple of years ago?"
Yeah, but that's why we needed those to do what they did. People don't ask those.
Well, this was
questions.
within the state of Minnesota. They would think they would police themselves, but apparently
bureaucracies.
Some of the whistleblowers, when there were some, were ignored.
bureaucracies don't work that way.
It's not like it's real money. Just give it away.
Yeah, that's
not
true.
like it's real money.
True. Huh. I'm surprised there's that many Somalis in Minnesota. I wouldn't think that would be a climate that they would want to move from Somalia into. That would be a
Omar's speech back in 24 was done in her native language, not in English.
Oh, really?
The translation is the United States government will do what we ask it to do. We should have this kind of confidence in ourselves as Somalians. We live in this country. We are taxpayers in this country. This country is one where one of your daughters sits in Congress, meaning her. While I am in Congress, no one will take Somalia's sea, and the U.S. government won't support others who rob us. Don't stress over it, Minnesotans. Trump says, I'd love this Ilhan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with a little turban. But she comes in, does nothing but bitch. She comes from her country where, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? We ought to get her the hell out.
That's not how you expect I love this woman to end.
That's Trump.
Yeah.
And the crowd, wherever Trump was when he said that, he said it in front of a crowd at a rally in Pennsylvania on Tuesday. They started chanting, "Send her back, send her."
That's funny.
Of course, I know there's investigations. At least there's been reported that there's investigation about her shaky citizenship or whether or not she lied. Because if you lie on a citizen application, it becomes void. They can void it.
Yeah.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Oh, good morning, Russ. How are you this morning?
We're doing well. Good morning.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say that I heard on the news that the government was thinking about awarding Zelensky $900 billion.
Okay, wait a minute. You're talking away from the mic a little bit. Repeat that. The government's doing what?
That the government wanted to aid Zelensky with $900 billion to support his, the war effort or whatever's going on down there. And so what I don't understand is, there's a lot of corruption within his government. He sacked one of his prime ministers or whatever, somebody within his government, he had to sack him because I guess there's just a lot of corruption over there.
Yeah, there is. Are you at a road race or something?
No, I'm right on 8th Street, but they have some of these people that drive motorcycles.
Yeah.
They have them so souped up that the noise is terrible.
Yeah, you just drill holes in the muffler, man. That's all they do. But you're asking if that $900 million, but you got drummed out a little bit. You're asking if it went through, if that's something we should do.
Yeah, that's what they're debating right now. Whether it has to pass and all that stuff. But I just don't understand how we can just because that's all taxpayer money. We have to put the bill on that.
Right. My understanding on most of what's going on now with them, our arms are being sold to NATO, and NATO is buying them, and they're giving them because those other countries have not been supporting or not spending their 5% for NATO and doing that. But there is still a lot of money given directly. There's also suggestions that Zelensky is involved in some criminal activity and graft, or he's aware of it. And there is a lot of corruption in that country. Remember, it's a spinoff from the Soviet Union. And it hasn't all been weeded. It hasn't been weeded out in our country. Look at Minneapolis. But are you in support? Do you think we should support Ukraine fighting Russia, or do you think we should just let Russia take it over?
Well, it's somewhat difficult for me to understand, but I don't want our country to be continuously supporting a country like Zelensky, and then we're just going to keep. It's just a never-ending hole that taxpayer money is going in there, and when is it going to end?
Right. Fair question. All right. I'm going to let you go because your connection's bad, but I'm going to talk a little bit more about the subject, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, buddy.
All right. Bye-bye. Fair question. When's it going to end? That's what Trump's been asking.
Yeah.
Trump wanted it to end like 8 months ago.
Well, yeah. Before he said he'd get it done before January.
Yeah, and then he started, and that's his intentions. And he's frustrated with both of them, Zelensky and with Putin. I'm surprised it's gone on 3 years.
Yeah. Well, and you look at the size of Russia and the potential threat that Russia seems to have give to the world, and teeny little Ukraine, you would have thought they'd sweep through it.
Right.
So it makes you question: is Russia a real threat if they can't handle Ukraine on their own? But then I can't get behind people saying just let Russia go, because that sets a precedent. All I need to do is start something, and then people will concede, and I get I can.
It only cost me tons of wealth and tons of people, but I don't care. I want the property.
Yeah. So it's a tough call.
It is.
I don't. I'm glad I don't make those decisions.
I think Russia's getting hurt right now.
Yeah.
Not only obviously with the tariffs and the money,
right.
And Ukraine now is blowing up infrastructure like crazy in Russia.
Yeah.
A lot of their fuel depots have been blown up, and their refineries have been blown up, and now power stations.
Yeah.
They darkened Moscow the other day.
And
see, it was all
the idea of total war. Goes back.
But I think we're
decades. But that's the way you end things.
Unconditional surrender.
Yeah. You go hard.
When was the last time we had an unconditional surrender?
Yeah.
I mean, Japan was unconditional.
Right.
Germany was unconditional.
Yeah. And that was
I don't know that we do that.
No.
We start making deals.
And as just horrible, the idea of the nuclear bomb being atomic bomb being dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The theory was we're going to end the war sooner and therefore save lives numerically.
Correct.
Killing civilians rather than killing soldiers is different.
They could have continued with the firebombing, which was taking more lives than the nuclear.
Yeah, but that was the mentality at the time. We're going to be so hard and vicious and brutal that everyone just has to give up and say we're done.
We don't do that.
We don't do that anymore. But that's the way you end it. When you go lethal, you stop.
Yeah.
You end it. You don't pussyfoot around about it. You just get it done. And I think that I'm glad that Ukraine is because they were trying to avoid getting into Russia for a long time, then we were not letting them use our weapons in Russia.
That's right. We tied their hands. We said you can't use these in Russia.
Yeah, just do it. Get in there, get it done, and it's not going to stop until Putin feels the pain, and he's not going to feel the pain till enough of Russia feels the pain that they turn on.
He's been feeling it now, but for Russia to turn on you, it's not like the United States where they've got the rights and freedoms to protest or speak their mind. They don't.
Well, that one general, the freelance guy, tried to take his tanks in there, which
he's dead now.
Yeah, he's dead now. He didn't have the support that he needed apparently to do that. So you need to get a lot of Russians behind the idea of Putin's not good for us.
Yeah,
and they're not there yet, and that's not going to get there until they really do some serious damage to Russia.
I don't know the answers. I believe it should be more Europe's involvement than the United States.
I agree.
And they were not near as involved as we were. Now Trump has put them more involved financially.
Well, and it goes back to the question: is should we be the global police?
No.
We shouldn't be, but we're like the only ones that can be.
But if somebody's going to go into like Lithuania or something, which is 3-4 million people, and just say, "I'm going to conquer you," who's going to stand up for them? Well, that's what NATO does, and that there's a pact. There's a pact that if you attack any one of us,
you attack
all of us, and all that. And Ukraine wasn't officially part of that. They never were.
And that's the other thing. Russia keeps saying
They don't want it.
We don't want them to be part of NATO. The only reason you cannot want them to be part of NATO is you want to attack them again later.
Right.
That's so.
Well, that's why it's hard to come up with a peace deal, because the peace deals. Well, we already had a peace deal with them. Did you know Ukraine gave up nuclear weapons back in the 90s?
Right.
They had nuclear weapons when the Soviet broke up, and they gave them up at the request of Russia and the United States.
Right.
And we signed a pact that they would never let them be invaded, and we would come to their aid if they were. The United States signed that.
Yep.
We said we will protect Ukraine if anything happens and they got invaded because they gave up their nuclear weapons. We didn't do that.
Right.
We didn't do that in 2012 when they jumped in and took Crimea and part of the east side. We didn't do that.
Right.
We didn't even help Ukraine that much. We gave them blankets.
Mhm.
And it's been a travesty. I mean, I don't think it gets talked about enough that we had pacts, we had deals with them, and we reneged.
It's not the first time we've done.
Well, I understand, but we've done it in our history. But this is recent history, and we reneged on it.
Well, and then you get into is it in our in our best interest? Do we care that whether Ukrainian is governing itself or being taken over by Russia?
Good question.
There's a right and a wrong, but that's that country's issue. It's not our country's issue.
Well,
do we need to get involved? Should we get involved?
Do you really think that Putin's going to stop? I mean, he says he's not going to stop.
No.
He's going to keep conquering and conquering and conquering. Is that good for us? I mean, was it good for us to have the Soviet Union, knowing that their goal was
I think our country has progressed tremendously because of the threat of the Cold War.
Sure.
So
but
there is some value to having a potential enemy threat.
We got
to progress your country.
Russia's enough of a threat on its own. It doesn't need the
I don't know
Baltic states and Poland and all that kind of stuff.
After seeing how they handle Ukraine, I
Well,
don't know if
they're still the
China's a threat though, so we don't need Russia to be a threat.
They're still the boogeyman.
Yeah.
They're still out there saber rattling, being scary guys all the time.
But and that's just everything that we're talking about here. It's a big issue. Are we a global police force? Should we be a global police force? If it's not affecting us, should we be involved? Is it affecting us? Now, there's so many questions.
Everybody wants the war to be over, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, there's.
But it's how do you get there? Obviously, Putin doesn't feel enough pain to make it worthwhile.
And he seems to be a proud man who it's going to take a lot.
Well, I don't think he can. I don't think he's got any choice. They'll kill him.
Yeah, that's true.
The retirement program is not that great. I got to take a break. We'll be back after the news. AM 560.
Unseasonably mild temperatures 2 weeks out from Christmas. We'll take it 81 and sunny today and tomorrow. Clear and 54 both nights. Partly cloudy skies this weekend. We'll stay with highs at 80 on both Saturday and Sunday.
This is the time of the year most.
There's a man in DC. This is News Talk 560 KBLU, Yuma.
Kristi Noem will be questioned at a House hearing.
She's going to get put in the hot seat. There are already some anti-ICE protesters gathering here, but the topic, worldwide threats to the U.S. homeland.
Fox's Bill Malhusian is at the Capitol.
There have been some isolated media reports that President Trump is considering replacing Kristi Noem as the head of DHS, but the White House says Noem isn't going anywhere, saying in a statement, quote, everything about this is total fake news.
Secretary Noem could be asked about the U.S. military operations left of Venezuela coast, first blowing up boats suspected of carrying illegal drugs and seizing an oil tanker.
The Attorney General posting the footage of the taser on social says the FBI, Homeland Security, and U.S. Coast Guard executed this operation with some support from the War Department. The U.S., it turns out, we are learning, issued a warrant for this oil tanker, alleging it was used to transport illegal oil to Venezuela and Iran in support of foreign terrorist groups.
Fox's Gillian Turner, and a Venezuelan opposition activist, supports the U.S. pressure, and Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
Maria
Machado was smuggled out of hiding all the way to Norway. She hasn't even seen in months. I couldn't sleep last night. Machado got the Nobel Peace Prize for her opposition to Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro and promises she'll fight for her country's freedom. I'm very hopeful Venezuela will be free, and we will turn the country to a better hope.
The Senate will take votes next hour on plans for Obamacare. Democrats want to expand tax credits set to expire at year's end, driving up the cost of coverage for millions of Americans. Republicans have a different idea. Let people use that money for health savings accounts. GOP Senator John Barrasso tells Fox,
I'm a doctor. I want people to get the care that they need at an affordable price. But Obamacare robs people of affordability as well as choice.
Americans listening to Fox News.
I'm Eddie, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Maybe you haven't heard about us. We're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless has you paying for more data than you might need. Why? They might want you to cover the cost of younger people who do use all that data. If you're not using the data, you're probably being used. We've heard time and time again that some Big Wireless customers get stuck paying hundreds and even thousands more for years and years because they think it's hard to switch. Not with us. It takes just about 20 minutes and you can change your plan anytime without extra charges. We use the same towers as the big guys, so you'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Our plan started at $20 a month, and for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and evenly. See site for additional details.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity thieves have lists too, and your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
AK Day at Firearms Unknown is Saturday, December 13th. Firearms Unknown is having a one-day only sale on all AK-47s. Firearms Unknown will have discounts on all AK brands like Century, Zastava, Arsenal, Riley Defense, and Pioneer. Plus, with select AK purchases, customers will receive 5 free X-Tech AK magazines. Riley Defense and X-Tech will be on site showcasing their products and answering questions for customers. Spin the prize wheel for a chance at free swag. One day only, Saturday, December 13th. Doors open at 9 a.m. Firearms Unknown, 801 West 32nd Street or firearmsunknown.com.
From the News 11's Information Desk, I'm Jelena Aguilera. A new middle school is opening next school year in Yuma. Mary Schools Academy is expanding its school system with a new charter middle school. The school will be added to its Yuma South campus and will feature facility upgrades with a focus on technology-enhanced learning. It will be open to 6th and 7th graders for the 2026-27 school year, and 8th grade will be the following year. It'll provide students with a unique experience compared to a traditional middle school. The school will also feature Yuma's first esports program. Plus, an abandoned dog has found a new home. The dog Stevie, found alone, blind, and starving at Lake Mitri, trapped in some bushes. Luckily for Stevie, local Nathan Ivy heard his cries and hiked through the mountain to find the blind dog. Catch us on the TV set on News 11 every weekday at 5, 6, and 10 p.m. for your latest local news, weather, and sports.
The strength to face life's challenges is easier to find with the right support. That's why Onvita Health is expanding access to behavioral health care. More psychiatrists, new inpatient care, intensive outpatient therapy. Because when care is within reach, brighter days are just ahead. Here's to better tomorrows. Here's to life. Learn more at onvitahealth.org/behavioral health.
There's a
Yeah, 560 KBLU, Lars.
I'm here.
Oil tank got taken over
Yeah, I was hearing about
by the
that.
United States, man. They just sent a bunch of military types in there. I guess it wasn't a hard takeover necessarily because it's not like it's a military
Yeah,
ship.
it's not a battleship.
But still, it's got to be. You got to send the pros in, know what they're doing.
Yeah,
because you don't know who's around the corner and what they have. But the Pam Bondi, so they just released the footage yesterday about the U.S. forces seizing a Venezuela crude oil tanker. I sent a note to Edward on that. I asked him if he was going to be able to buy that. I don't think it's up for sale, but most likely that's going to the oil will go into the federal, the reserve, probably.
Yeah. I like
strategic reserve, probably.
When they asked Trump, "What are we going to do with the oil?" Keep it.
Well, yeah, you're not going to dump it. Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Good morning, Russ.
Morning, OG.
Hey, you were talking about the old Ukraine and the USSR when they dissipated and Ukraine fell. Yeah. Well, this is all Ukraine's fault. It really is, because what happened was the Biden crime family got involved around early 90s. Yes, they did. Hunter worked for that oil company, remember?
Right.
And Ukraine went corrupt. All your politicians in Ukraine were corrupt. And the first thing they did, they passed laws where no Ukrainian citizen could own a gun. Yes.
That's true. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I wouldn't give them the sweat off of nothing of my organs. I wouldn't.
Okay.
Because they're not our responsibility. They're not our problem.
Right.
They are your problem. And Trump, you just should ignore it until you do what you got to do your worst, and we just stay out of it, and we get our country in order. We got 53 million foreign residents in this country, people that were not born here. We got 53 million of them, and they all got kids, and those kids are destroying our schools and our educational system is what is happening here. And they're occupying our housing structures where we haven't. That's why the rent is so high, because you have 53 million, again, foreign-born people living in this country more than any time in our history.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And we need to straighten this country out. Hell with the rest of them. Now, what we got going on here, we do have the monarchies that have set up for the past 400 years the economic system for the world. Trump is undermining that and resetting it with the U.S. in the lead. Now, the reason that can happen is our dollar is the lead currency in the world, has been, and we're not careful, we're going to lose it, because what is destroying this country, and those 53 million, because we got to support them, is that $37 trillion debt that we got. Also, nobody's talking about is the 293 obligatory debt that we have. That's where the FEMA and your Freddie Mac and everybody guarantees and GI loans and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
Those are obligatory debts, okay? Now, if you overextend yourself at the bank and you got another daughter or son that you want to buy a car for, and you're already bought a couple and you don't make enough money, your bank is going to turn you down. Well, no one turns down the U.S. They just keep okaying the credit rating.
Yeah. Right.
Remember Standard & Poor's and those guys? Yeah. So the voters in this country are the fault, because they vote stupid. They do. I'm 84 years old, and I'm going to remind you, I've seen 15 freaking presidents, and Trump is the best one we got. And also, Promethean Action is a website you must go to. They will explain to you. And also, Mike Johnson has written the 7 conservative ideas, that Trump is going by. You want to know what Trump is doing? Read that. Read his 7 conservative ideas that he wrote. He wrote these in 2018. Mike Johnson did.
All right.
It gives you the Republican platform dead on. And if you don't agree with that, you need to move out of the United States. Because let me tell you something about our Constitution. John Adams said the Constitution was written for the moral majority of Christians.
Yeah.
He also added, for anyone else, it doesn't work well. So why are we changing our laws to accommodate Muslims and all these other freaking freaks that don't belong in our Christian country? Now, close in 1920 of 80% Caucasian. Now, Caucasians, I said the other day, represent 8% of the entire world race. You have about 7.3 billion that are trying to exterminate the Caucasian race, folks. You got Robert McCarthy. Remember him? Robert McCarthy took over the white country that was owned pretty much by Rhodesia, and it was the wealthiest country in Africa. Well, Marvin McCarthy came in and killed all the white farmers and gave all that land to the blacks and renamed it Zimbabwe, which is now the poorest country in all of Africa. Now, you got Idi Amin is another one. Then don't forget Pol Pot over in Cambodia, killing everybody. So we have people are trying to exterminate the 8% of the entire world population, which is Caucasian, and that number is like 790 million white people on the whole planet. And white people are walking around like a bunch of freaking zombies, like, who, me?
All right.
They better get in the game and protect their freaking DNA is what they better do. I'm just serious now. I'm the only one that'd be talking about this stuff.
All right.
Well, and the reason I'm doing it, I have a daughter that lives in Germany, cannot come back to this country because she applied for a dual citizenship. And the United States wouldn't issue her a dual citizenship. Now, she's a practicing neurologist in Berlin. And they won't take her off the U.S. tax rolls because she's money. And if she comes back here, they say she owes the government, our government, $7.something million, and she hadn't even worked here for like almost 40 years. That's a shame. But her husband, German national, he got a dual passport. He can come back and go to the U.S. anytime he wants to. And my son is in Singapore. He can't come back either, but he worked for the JL, the Japanese Airlines, as a pilot because it takes more money. Well, he can't get off their tax rolls either. And I forget how much he owes, but it's several $1 million.
Whoa.
So they can't come back. So people, unless you got an offspring that's successful in another country, I don't want to hear from you complaining about me on the radio today. I just don't.
Okay.
No, because you're ignorant. If you're under 60 years old, you came under Jimmy Carter's 10th plank of the Communist Manifesto that he put into action in 1977. If you're under 60, you were affected by that lack of academics. Me, I'm older than that, so I will. My iCloud is in my brain from the old school, from prior to 1977. That's when I was educated. So what I'm telling you comes from my brain and not from some freaking Wikipedia website.
All right. Well,
and that's what about it. Anyway. But Ukraine is none of our affair. It's all on England. We got an ocean that separates us, and Russia. By the way, does anybody know who Russia is? They are the ones that the Tsar of Russia was the one that supported our Union Army, our Blue Coats, against the British, which was controlling Jefferson Davis of the Confederacy, which was a slave state. And the British was there, and then that was in the Civil War, and then don't forget the War of 1812. The British tried to burn our capital down. We are the colonies that got away, folks. We've never been a friend of England at all, ever. And we got 43 monarchies left that are still trying to take us down. Have you ever wondered why we have a world court in the freaking Netherlands? Why isn't it at the UN? Where is the UN on all this stuff? Where's the UN on Ukraine? Send them over there. We don't need to be there, folks. I'm telling you straight out.
All right. Well, I appreciate the call, my friend.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye. That's OG. He's got a lot of ideas about everything.
Yeah, he's an energetic.
Oh, he is. He's 84.
Yeah.
A couple fact-checking things from my friend Edward that gave me, and I got to give you some corrections.
Okay.
Corrections are more stern because I made a mistake. Well, when I said that there was U.S. military that took over the oil tanker, not completely correct. It was the FBI that led it, and the Homeland Security led it. Now, the Coast Guard members went along and helped, but with support from the Department of War. So it was all of them, but I didn't give credit to the FBI.
Oh.
Actually took lead.
Oh, really?
On that thing.
You wouldn't think the FBI is doing things on the ocean. Where was it?
It was in the ocean.
Captured.
I don't remember.
Oh.
I'm sure it was it was not in internet. It was in international waters, I would assume.
You would think.
Yeah. It was off the Venezuelan coast.
That's interesting.
And they sent in a helicopter, which, the helicopter just, the military personnel just went off the, repelled down from helicopter ropes, just like you see on the movies.
Yeah.
Came down and they occupied it. But you're not going to get a lot of resistance on an oil tanker. It's not meant to be.
You wouldn't think. Yeah.
You wouldn't think. Although it's got to be dangerous as heck. You wouldn't.
And this was a Venezuelan oil tank.
Well, it had Venezuela oil. A lot of these oil tankers, and it doesn't say. Well, it does say it seized a Venezuelan crude oil tanker.
Okay.
But a lot of times, the flags they fly in and everything is from all over the world. And the ownership could be anywhere, but Venezuela oil is definitely on it.
Yeah.
It doesn't say in that, and most likely that oil will end up in the oil reserves here at the United States. The tanker itself, I was curious about that. Like, what's going to happen to that ship? But who knows who even owns it? I don't know. And
if the United States does now,
well, they definitely have possession.
Yeah.
We'll see. We'll see what it is. Bondi says for multiple years, the oil tanker has been sanctioned by the United States due to its involvement in an illicit oil shipping network supporting foreign terrorist organizations. The seizure, completed off the coast of Venezuela, was conducted safely and securely in our investigation alongside the Department of Homeland Security to prevent the transport of sanctioned oil continues. How about that?
Yeah, and during one of the breaks, one of the news stories was saying people are talking about Trump taking out Nome, Kristi Nome, but her and Bondi are powerhouse.
Well, I think who knows where those things start.
Yeah, both of them are doing such a great job.
Do you think Trump would have any problem at all replacing anybody that's not?
No.
Of course he wouldn't.
No.
That doesn't mean that they're one of them. Who knows?
Yeah, but
I don't have any inside track on that, so I kind of ignore that.
Yeah, but you hear about stories like this, people doing their job and doing well and going, taking the FBI into the ocean to take care of this. And she said it's been being sanctioned for years, which means, prior to Trump taking office, before she came along. And so she's cleaning up somebody else's mess.
They've been doing it.
Yeah.
They finally just took it offline.
Yeah. So that's great. I like the way she presented it and did it. And
the FBI Director Kash Patel posted on X efforts to crush the FTOs. I had to look up what FTOs are. I don't know all the.
You need to tell me that. What is
foreign terrorist organizations?
Okay.
So efforts to crush FTOs and cut off their resources will continue day and night.
Good.
Kristi Nome says, if you threaten our nation or break the law, there is no place on land or sea we won't find you. Thank you to our brave service members. America first.
Hoorah.
Trump said, everybody's in on the social media, right? The tanker was the largest one ever seized. Action. It's always the largest and the biggest and the most beautiful.
Yeah. Huge.
It's huge. And he says other things are going to happen. You'll be seeing that later, and you'll be talking about that later when some other people, who knows what he's talking about, but some stuff is happening. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
The Navy confirmed that 15% of its U.S. deployed Navy ships are in the Caribbean region. I don't know if that's unusual or not.
That seems like a big number.
There's still 85% somewhere else.
Yeah, but that's one out of 1/7 of the U.S. fleet is in a tiny little.
But that puts it close to the United States.
Yeah, which is where they should be. Yeah, actually. Yeah. When you think about it.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not in California, but it's not that far.
We don't need to protect California. We'll protect Arizona.
Newsom will take care of California.
Well, a judge was saying that Trump had to give the National Guard control back to California.
Yeah, but is that going to happen?
So Newsom's
got control.
He's got troops he can use there.
Did you hear him give a speech the other day about
I don't
tragic fires in California, how he had an ember in his hair, it was burning his hair, and they had to whisk him off to take the ember out.
Oh, well, I'm sure all the people
You
that
know,
lost
I didn't know he suffered so much.
Yeah, no. Now the people that lost their homes and their family members
part of their homeland is in this guy's
can
hair.
connect to him.
Yeah.
That's
The Venezuelan governor, believe it or not, condemned Wednesday's actions. It's a blatant.
Really?
Yeah.
Why would they have a problem?
I guess they lost the money on the oil. It's a blatant theft and an act of international piracy.
Okay, come and deal with
That's
it.
their viewpoint.
Come on over here and we'll talk it out. Step foot on our land.
The last time that the U.S. military seized a foreign tanker, at least as far as we know, was in 2014. Navy SEAL boarded and took over a ship previously seized by 3 armed men at a Libyan port who were attempting to sell the nationalized Libyan oil tanker on the black market. That didn't work out well.
No.
You know, for that Libyan.
No.
You know, whoever it was.
Yeah, anytime the military elite, U.S. elites get involved, it's not going to work out well.
No. They do a lot of training. They're always ready. Yeah. And they get to, use their skills. Yeah. They will.
It's amazing to me when we hear about the stories, of course, after the fact. Nobody knows about it ahead of time. But, they go in and doesn't matter how many forces were lined up against them. They just took care of it. It's done.
This last action of this recent oil tanker, according to this article, it strains ties with Venezuela.
Well, we don't want to do that.
I think they're already strained.
Yeah, I don't know if we can get more strained. We don't like them. They don't like us.
It also mentions that there's been 22 U.S. strikes on narco traffickers, the boats, that have killed 87 people.
Yeah, I heard that the other day.
Yeah, I don't know how much more it's going to grow. At some point, somebody's going to say, I'm not driving that boat.
Yeah. Well, but it also makes you wonder how many are not being blown up. How many are getting through that they're able to say,
really?
Well, it's still worth
do you think if the U.S. wanted everything to stop I don't think that.
It's a big ocean.
Yeah.
It's a lot to cover.
Well, they're not covering the whole ocean. They're just covering that area. But I don't believe anything is getting through.
And I when it first started back in September, I was expecting them to start putting civilians on the boats. And then when they got blown up, they could say, "Oh, look, the Americans are."
Yeah, that's what you need to do. You get one of those McDonald's playground things, put it on the bow with some kids playing on it.
Yeah, I fully expected that to happen.
Let's take a phone call. You're on the air.
Morning, Russ.
Well, good morning, Ted.
You know how when none of them were getting through with the drugs?
How?
You get a Democrat elected in Miami looking for money.
Really, you think it had something to do with that recent election? Is that the drug stop? And I keep saying it's fentanyl. It's actually cocaine that's coming out of Venezuela. But you think that Miami election was swayed by the drug boats being blown up?
Yeah, they were running out of money, so they had to get a job that paid a little bit more.
Oh, you think she was a drug dealer?
Yeah.
I don't think so. My dog agrees with me. Yeah.
With you.
Somebody's got
somebody. Yeah, but somebody's losing money.
Yeah,
I don't think it was her, but I think somebody's losing money somewhere, and they're going to be angry. What are they going to do about it? Just get another boat.
Yeah.
Remember what I told you. I mean, I don't have sympathy for any of this, but a lot of these guys that are running those boats, we don't know for a fact that their families aren't being held hostage to get them to do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's always a possibility.
I don't think in those terms, but because it's scary.
Yeah.
But
I'm not trying to.
I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it does. Yeah.
I mean, I know it does. Yeah.
And we got that one family from Colombia that's suing the United States, saying, because they lost a husband, a son or something, and said he's a fisherman. He's just doing his job.
Right.
He wasn't fishing.
Well, he was fishing.
He was piloting a boat.
He was fishing the packages out of the water after they fell in.
fishing to kill people here. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I consider that an act of war.
Well, so does
Venezuela.
So does, I guess, our military.
Right.
Yeah. Then it's not up for discussion. They don't discuss much.
No.
It's a very little conversation.
It shouldn't have to. I gave them the power to do what they need to do to protect us.
Yeah.
No.
Well, hopefully that's what's going on. Is a protection. We'll see where it goes. The Democrats are still complaining about it. Not loudly, but it's starting to be a little bit more. But the overall, the polls show that the U.S. public is accepting it as a good idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that war. It's unfortunately, there's not enough people that have suffered the consequences, like Kirk family and the others that have died because of this.
Yeah.
Brutally died of it. Their children have died from it, whether it be the violence or the drugs themselves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's mostly fentanyl, but that's still coming up out of Mexico.
Yeah.
And Trump has offered to get involved in that too, militarily, and it's been denied by the president of Mexico. She doesn't want it, but somewhere that thing's going to come to a head too, with this Mexican operation, which is huge.
Yeah.
Billions and billions of dollars has got to be put down. It's got to stop.
And they have so much influence over the government that
I
don't see that they can really do anything about it.
Right.
Well, I give them my full support. Do what you have to.
Right. Well, we don't want to start a war with Mexico.
No. Yeah.
It never ended.
Yeah. There's a memorial to the war of Mexican-American War in Indianapolis.
Oh, really?
When I went to Indy 500 or something, I went up there and we travel around, and it's right like in a roundabout, it's a huge memorial, and like a building type memorial, and I didn't know it existed. I said, man, that thing wouldn't fly well in Yuma. You couldn't have that in Yuma. That we won the war.
I have a personal memorial to it.
Oh,
it's my grandfather buried in Arlington Cemetery that fought
really?
here.
Oh,
Wow.
really?
Yeah.
During the Mexican-American War?
Yes.
Huh.
Cavalry.
Oh, yeah. I don't think it's recognized. I mean, not a lot of people think about that. It's not
You
like,
don't hear it very much.
like World War II, World War I, Panama, Revolutionary War, Civil War. That one just doesn't get the top billing.
And even just saying it, Mexican American War, it doesn't flow off the tongue. It doesn't register in your ear as familiar. It's just not spoken of very much at all.
Yeah, and it wasn't so much Mexican; it was Spanish.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to tell him to change the memorial then.
Why is that?
Well, you said it's Spanish, it's not Mexican.
That's who. What? It's Mexican. What Mexican? Mexican. It's Mexico. We were fighting the Spanish intrusion into the country, and to take some of their land too.
Now, Spanish American War does sound more familiar to me, but I don't hear much about that either.
Yeah, it wasn't the Mexican American War; it was the Spanish.
Well, I just Googled it. It says Mexican American War is what it says.
Yeah, whatever. This was colonialism fighting each other.
Yeah.
We won. Stay out.
Well, it says the United States won.
Yeah.
And it was 1846 to 1848.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we've been fighting it ever since.
It's pretty friendly when I cross the border. It's fine.
I should be able to go back and forth across that border without showing any papers.
Well, go ahead and try it.
No, thank you.
All right.
But like I say, that's my memorial to all this. Is my grandfather.
Well, I understand that. Do you ever get back and visit? You ever get to go?
Do what?
You ever go back and visit Arlington?
It's been a while, Russ. Once we moved I moved everything here to Yuma. That's it. We never went back.
Okay.
It's been, they had to go through the cemetery where once they took away the government control of the groundskeeping, they have destroyed so many grave markers in there with bush hogs and all, and lawnmowers, that my wife's father's headstone had to be repaired by them, and that was a fight to get that done.
Yeah.
But they just go through and hit the markers with the side of the tractor, bush hogs and stuff. It's just, my grandfather, he worked at Fort Myer, and he used to take me over there all the time when they were doing a lot of the groundskeeping.
Mhm.
And it was like sacred to those guys. But once it became by the VA or whoever's overseeing it, they destroyed Arlington Cemetery as far as the groundskeeping, the headstones.
Oh, really?
They used to fall over, and when it was overseen by the Fort Myer, they'd immediately go out there and re-erect them and all. But now they just fall over and they sit, and the families have to fight to get it repaired and stuff. It's ridiculous.
Oh, all right. Well, behave yourself, man. I'm
You
going to
too,
break,
guys.
man. Take care.
Have a good day. Bye.
We'll be right back.
Unseasonably mild temperatures 2 weeks out from Christmas. We'll take it 81 and sunny today and tomorrow. Clear and 54 both nights.
Partly cloudy skies this weekend. We'll stay with highs at 80 on both Saturday and Sunday.
When your home fills up with family, Allo Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Allo Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters. And the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Allo at 866-481-2556 or visit allofiber.com.
This is the time of the year most of us are checking off our holiday gift list. Identity is that list too. Your personal information might be on that list. Protect your identity with LifeLock. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points every single second and alerts you to the threats you could miss yourself. If your identity is stolen, your own U.S.-based restoration specialist is going to work to fix it, guaranteed for your money back. Make this season about joy, not identity theft, with LifeLock. Save up to 40% off your first year at LifeLock.com with the promo code BECK. Terms apply.
To be a part of Russ's show, call 928-344-5258. That's 928-344-5258. Hey, Yuma. DJs for PJs time. That's right. We're on a mission to collect new warm pajamas for families in need. Swing by our radio station or Avenue Financial at 1780 South First Avenue and on North Greenwich Road in the Foothills, or any local Little Caesars pizza, and drop them off before December 14th. Every pajama helps bring a little comfort this winter. Let's come together and make sure everyone in Yuma has something cozy to snuggle up in.
Since 1905, the Yuma County Chamber of Commerce has been the voice for business in Greater Yuma. Want to stay informed about Yuma's business community? The Chamber connects you with local leaders, business and marketing opportunities, and advocacy that ensures Yuma stays a great place for your business to grow and thrive. Serving all of Yuma and Yuma County, including the Kokopah and Quishima nations, the Chamber strengthens partnerships that move our region forward. Be part of Yuma Business Network. Call Valeria or Ashley today at 928-782-2567.
There's a man in D.C. He stands 6'3".
AM 560 KBLU. Russ Clark back with you, and Chris is here.
I'm here. And we were doing some fact checking of our own during the break. You found the memorial is not just for the Mexican American War, it's for all
soldiers,
sailors in the
sailors,
wars.
Civil War, but Mexican American War is on it. And that's what I saw when we went around it in the bus.
And you showed me a picture. That thing is huge.
Oh, it's taller than the buildings around. It's a downtown huge monument.
And I did some Googling on my own. The Mexican American War was in 1846 to 1848.
Right.
And the Spanish American War was in 1898, 50 years later. Mexican American War was about territorial expansion. They wanted our territory. We wanted theirs. And then the Spanish American War was about Cuba. We didn't want them controlling Cuba anymore. So now we know.
Yeah, it's good to have.
Yeah.
Powell, I guess they just decided to raise or lower the interest rates another quarter point.
Okay, I was like Colin Powell.
No.
This is the
Jerome.
Yeah.
Jerome Powell, Federal Reserve.
Yeah.
And
he dropped them again the third time.
Yeah, it's the third time this year.
Yeah.
They just dropped it again, and him and Donald Trump have not got along. You know who he appointed Jerome Powell in 2017.
Right.
But I think their friendship is less than desirable.
It's strained.
Yeah. He's going to retire May of 26. And they asked him, is the disconnect? He said that if Trump's public search for a new Fed chair affects his ability to do the job, he just says no. He's not a guy of a lot of words. No,
he's not. He's not.
He's a little stiff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But and Trump and him, publicly had that little encounter about the building. But
it was a huge bill, man.
No, the building.
Yeah, I know, but it was a big bill.
Yeah.
How much money they spent, the overruns and all that.
If Trump really wanted him out, he'd be out.
But there's a political price to pay.
Yeah.
He's not going to.
So he's doing enough right that Trump's like, it's not worth being a
Powell won't even commit that he's going to stay on the Federal Reserve Board of Governors. Even if they step down, they'll stay on. He won't even commit to that. He says, I'm focused on my remaining time as a chair. I haven't got anything new on that to tell you. I think that means he's not staying.
Or he just doesn't want to say. Keeps his options open.
Trump has got a few front runners. One's Kevin Hassett. He's the current Federal Reserve economic advisor. And then the current Federal Reserve Board of Governor, Christopher Waller, and former Federal Board Governor Kevin Marsh. Between the three of them, that's, I guess, at least that's what this article says. Those are his contenders. I don't know if he's saying it.
Right.
Trump says, I'm looking for somebody that will be honest with interest rates. Our rate should be the lowest in the world.
Well.
And the biggest and the most beautiful. Yeah.
And the idea of the controlling the economy, there's so many variables out there.
Oh yeah.
Better people than I would be making those.
Well, there's always going to be people that disagree and people that do whatever. But Trump disagreeing is very public.
Yeah.
And I think he's right on. I think it has been. It was different under Biden. I mean, they lowered interest rates. And it wasn't making sense.
Everything's different under Biden.
And then, but it was Powell that was doing it.
Yeah.
And then for Trump, even when the numbers made sense to lower it, he wouldn't do it.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. You look at one factor and you might say, well, we should do this or do that, but there's so many other factors. And there's so many other people saying, we should do this or this or this. And it's a judgment call and something I am not qualified to make.
Part of
Trump really isn't qualified to make.
Well, I think he's as qualified as being on that board. I mean, he knows numbers, he knows the board, he knows business. But Powell said that didn't want to lower interest rates because he was unsure what the tariffs would.
Right.
But they haven't had that big of an impact.
Well,
in some industries, agriculture.
He didn't know that yet, and so
but
there's a certain wait and see.
Trump told him
that you got to do. Yeah, so I'm not opposed to anything that Powell's done. I feel like our country is doing well, and we're feeling.
I think it can do better.
No, things can always be better.
Yeah.
If one thing improves, then that usually means something else declines, and you got to find a balance somewhere. And I feel like we're doing all right.
Well, you sound like Edwards is going to make money no matter what's going on in the country, but it's the majority of the people that don't know how to play that game.
Yeah.
The polar vortex, you know what that is?
I know what polar is. I know what a vortex is. I do not know what.
It's just I don't really completely understand. I need Dean in here. He's the meteorologist, but cold air masses that come down, and we're not being affected with it like the East Coast. They've been having record
They're
cold.
getting blasted.
Yeah.
I have been seeing that on the news.
They've got more coming.
They got blizzard warnings going on for over there. It's
Well, and all these meteorologists are scrambling right now. They really haven't come up with a good model yet on exactly what's going to happen as far as snowfall and all.
Uh-huh.
I mean, they know it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
It's going to happen. But they're saying that there's a polar vortex could invade the central and northeast U.S. this weekend. And potentially, I like it. It could and potentially.
Yeah.
Those aren't very definitive.
Yeah, but it's great job security.
Yeah.
I didn't say it wouldn't do that.
But potentially it could be a quick hitting snowstorm for the Interstate 95 corridor, and as the air meets up with moisture. And the storm system is expected to move into the Northeast late Saturday into Sunday. But the questions, which we're running a computer forecast on it, is flip-flopping. Will there be enough moisture to really do the snow thing and make everybody miserable and stuck?
Yeah.
It's another round of bone-chilling air from the polar vortex.
Yeah. And the bone-chilling air is really thing. When I lived up in Wisconsin, it wasn't the snow that would get to you so much as it was just that wind, that cold wind just blowing right through your clothing, whatever gear you had on, and you're just feeling it in your literally in your bones. It's just
when I was a child, I lived in North Dakota. Minot.
Yeah, you felt it then too. Yeah.
Well, the first year we were there, I remember we had wind chill of minus 120. And it was enough to shut everything down.
Well, yeah, I hope so.
No planes flew, nothing happened. We lived on Air Force Base. I mean, it was shut down. I remember we had to shovel the driveway so my dad could get the car in, and we would have to go out in like 5-minute intervals or so because that's all you could take it.
Right.
I mean, we didn't have a rope tied to us that they could drag us back in, but it was close to that.
Yeah.
It was very close to that.
Yeah.
That it was just that unbelievable.
I remember walking home from school when I was a kid, and my blue jeans froze. They weren't wet. They just the material and whatever
Just a little
was
moisture was in there.
Froze solid, and I could not bend my legs as I was walking. It was so cold, and it can happen. It's great if you can get the warning ahead of time. Don't go outside. But if you're already outside, and then it gets cold, you got to travel to get back to home. And back then, you'd be a mile away from home, and nobody cared. You're playing all over the place, and it took a while to get home.
In North Dakota, they used to put out snow fences, and the snow fence would be built along roads and stuff.
Right.
Even in residential areas and roads where the snow would blow and accumulate in that area, and so it wouldn't accumulate on the street.
Right.
It would be on that area. Now, as kids, we loved that because we could tunnel.
Slide on it, yeah.
No, we'd tunnel under it.
Tunnel it.
We could go in there, and it was much warmer.
We had an empty lot in the middle of town that was kept empty so that they could plow all the roads and pile the snow there.
Yeah.
And it was like an anthill every day after school because we were
climbing all over.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember there was some kids.
It would be warmer inside.
Kids that died from that because it collapsed on them.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times we couldn't have snowball fights. The snow was too cold to compact.
Yep.
Wouldn't stick. It was just dust.
Yep.
It was just dust, and we had to take the snow into the garage to heat it up to make it compact, and then we could go hit somebody with a snowball.
I try to explain that to my kids, and they just didn't get it. No, it's snow. You make a snowball. No. It's
cold.
So cold, it won't. It's got to melt a little bit.
Yeah.
And they just didn't get it.
Take them up to the cold and let them see that. Record low temperatures already set in Tuesday in New England. Record low.
Uh-huh.
Now, see, I read an article about the record temperatures in the West were so high.
Right.
They didn't connect that the record temperatures in New England were low.
Okay.
And usually there's a balance out there somewhere, but they just put the high temperatures to let us know we're all in trouble. We're all overheating. Global warming.
Yeah. I don't.
But record in England, they don't know anything about global warming in New England because it's so cold.
Well, and the global warming.
They don't call it that anymore.
Well, they'll say, well, yeah, but that's the way the climate works. Is you go from extreme to extreme, and yada yada yada. I just don't care because
It doesn't.
One way or the other, it's all going to balance out in the end.
I think it's all
Maybe it kills off a bunch of humans. Okay, every human dies eventually.
I don't
The
think it's
lower
all.
population might be better for the people. That's why we hunt, to
I don't-
reduce the population so the rest of them can live strong.
I don't think it's all true.
I just don't care. We're going to live our lives, and things are going to happen. And
All right.
did you get a fact check again?
Yes, and he's telling me I need to make corrections. The Mexican-American War, 1846-48, was right. We talked about that.
I mentioned
Conflict between the United States and Mexico, sparked by the U.S. annexation of Texas in 1845, hoping to seize even more territory from Mexico, U.S. president, all that stuff. Spanish-American War, 1898, which you already mentioned.
Yeah.
Conflict between the United States and Spain that ended Spanish colonial rule in the Americas and resulted in the U.S. acquisition of territories in the Western Pacific and Latin America. The U.S. emerged from the war a world power, and Spain, ironically, experienced a cultural renaissance.
Huh. Interesting.
So he says, please make this correction.
Done.
That's what fact checkers. I think we'd already gotten there.
Yeah.
It says it is the crazy Americans that do not know the difference. That's true between the Mexican War and of course, what
Well, we just
don't call her.
We don't talk about it.
No.
They're hardly mentioned at all, even in history classes. So,
No.
I mean, a lot of Americans don't know anything about the big wars. So
Now I'm going to get in trouble for this because
Okay.
I don't know, but I think Texas was already a separate state, a country itself. I mean, it was a separate sovereign
at that time, I don't know.
when they became a state.
I know they did. I know that they had declared themselves an independent country at one point.
But it was annexed in 1845. But my understanding, and I could be wrong, I think they had already had some independence from Mexico by then. But I'd have to call a Texan and find that out. Well, in Texas, and I think they had a revolution and stuff, but yeah.
Spanish-Mexican rule to an independent republic, 1836 to 1845.
Wait a minute, my fact checker is having a bad day. He said yes, Texas was independent, and they voted to become a state. So I got one right. Okay. It does happen on rare occasions every once in a while. Yeah, it was. So Texas, I mean, I've heard it said before that Texas could succeed from the United States because they actually were a country when they agreed to. I don't believe that. I think.
Well, there's nothing defining if or how anyone could secede from the United States. That was the whole thing with the Civil War, was the South tried to secede.
Right. They tried that already.
Yeah, and Lincoln made the call. He says, no, you can't break off. It never went to court to see if that was a legitimate action that a state can take or not. So it's still up in the air, and people are always talking about seceding from the Union.
Wow.
If you just start Googling, Arizona secede, you get SE, and it's going to finish. People are talking about it all the time.
Arizona doesn't.
Every country, I mean, and every state, people are talking about it all the time. But who knows if it's a legal thing? You would think it should be. If you can,
it shouldn't be easy.
It shouldn't be easy, but it should be legal. You should be. If a group of people says we do not no longer want to be governed by you,
Edward is out there. He says no. Texas does not have the legal right to secede from the United States. The U.S. Supreme Court ruled in the case of Texas versus White that states cannot unilaterally leave the Union, established that the relationship is indissoluble.
Oh,
even in Texas.
I did not hear about that.
Don't tell the Texans; they get pretty pissy about that. And when I made the comment that I got one right, Edward's actually keeping score. He said 99 Edward, 1 Russ. Well, that's because he's surrounded by supercomputers, probably.
Yeah.
Probably has a few lawyers sitting there too. Who knows? He has he's at work doing this. We'll be right back. AM 560.
Yuma, the Great American RV Roadshow Super Sale was set to end, but holiday shoppers packed the Yuma Fairgrounds, so we're sticking around one more week.
Festive end-of-season clearance prices are still rolling on new and used RVs, including our very best deals on repos and trades.
This is one of the world's largest traveling RV sales, but when it's gone, it's gone.
RVs cost less at the Great American RV Roadshow.
Extended through Sunday at the Yuma Fairgrounds. Parking and admission are free. Presented by RV Country. AK Day at Firearms Unknown is Saturday, December 13th. Firearms Unknown is having a one-day only sale on all AK-47s. Firearms Unknown will have discounts on all AK brands like Century, Zastava, Arsenal, Riley Defense, and Pioneer. Plus, with select AK purchases, customers will receive 5 free X-Tech AK magazines. Riley Defense and X-Tech will be on site showcasing their products and answering questions for customers. Spin the prize wheel for a chance at free swag. One day only, Saturday, December 13th. Doors open at 9 a.m. Firearms Unknown, 801 West 32nd Street or firearmsunknown.com.
At Exceptional Community Hospital, we are redefining what emergency care should feel like. Fast, personal, and compassionate. Our experienced ER physicians and staff are here 24/7 to care for your unexpected illness or injury. Don't wait for emergency care when you can be seen in minutes. With short wait times, you'll get the prompt attention you need because every minute matters. And if your recovery takes longer, we provide the inpatient care you deserve. Exceptional Community Hospital. Compassionate care. Exceptional service.
There's a man in D.C. He's 6'3".
AM 560 KBRU, Russ Clark with you. And Chris is here.
I'm here.
We got a few minutes left. I'm going to go through some of the events going on. What is the day? Thursday? Today, Yuma Farm Festival is going to be downtown at the Yuma Historic Theater from 6 o'clock to 9. And it's a film festival that's going to be played eventually in D.C. along with other agricultural type deals. It's going to be covering the past, present, and future farming in Yuma. It's free. You get on Eventbrite and get a reservation to do that. Get a reservation and you go to that. Let me see what else went on today.
And that should be fascinating. There's all kinds of amazing things happening.
We're cutting edge on all this.
Yeah.
Freedom Library takeover at Lutz Casino today from 4 to 8. If you like, Howard and the Freedom Library and the education and scholarship programs they do.
And Lutz Casino.
Lutz Casino. And you like them too.
Yeah. They're a lot of fun. I like going.
The city of San Luis is going to have their holiday light parade tonight.
Yeah, I've heard about
it. 6:30 tonight.
Yeah. They were talking about it yesterday on the radio. They've expanded they have a huge number of people in it. They expanded their staging area. They're all over 16th Street.
They know how to party down in San Luis.
Oh, this is San Luis. That's not your time.
No, that's going to be this weekend.
Okay, in Yuma.
Well, San Luis, they do parties too.
Yeah.
They know how.
Yeah. I was thinking.
It's going to start at 6:30. They don't usually ever end either.
Well, I found that out when I came down here and I started going to the weddings of my Mexican family members.
It's not going to end.
They start early, they end
never.
Yeah. When they have.
So just be prepared when you go to San Luis to have a good time. It's free, so you'll like that. A little thing on stargazing at the Foothills Library, 7 to 8. They kind of do that every night. Not really. Well, the Friday though, the Nutcracker by Arizona Classical Ballet. It's going to be 5:30 at the Yuma Theater. That's going to be historical Yuma Theater. And then another Nutcracker at the McBride Auditorium at Snyder Hall. I guess that's Yuma High. And that's going to be at 7 p.m. 5:30. So you can catch the 5:30 Nutcracker downtown and then catch the 7 o'clock Nutcracker by a different ballet. That's Ballet Yuma's 31st annual of it. And I've been to that quite a few times.
It's a Christmas staple.
It is a Christmas staple. And my daughter's been in them many times.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
The on Saturday, December 13th, another presentation of Yuma of Ballet Yuma of Nutcracker. It's going to be at 10:30 in the morning. Again at Snyder
Okay.
over there at Yuma High. And then at 4:00 p.m. is the 45th annual Christmas Handbell concert.
Those are cool.
Well, Helen, my wife, does that.
Does
She's in
she?
that. She's
Is she
in
in it?
that.
She's
She's
gonna
in that.
perform in that?
She has bells.
Ah,
Yeah. So she'll be doing that. 4:00. And then there's a homemade Christmas dinner and dance at 4:30 p.m. When the doors open. It starts at 5:00 or 5:15 at the Yuma Elks Lodge,
okay.
and that's put on with the Yuma Farmers Market. It's like a $65, but it includes a lot of dinner, dancing, a lot of stuff going on.
Those kind of things are a lot of fun. When they used
It's a
to do
nonprofit.
the Bridget Jones ones at the fairgrounds.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know, the tickets cost a little bit, but it's an event. It's a lot of fun. My wife and I have great memories
Well,
over
and
the years.
and you can contact Mary Kay
Yeah.
For this one at 928-503-2852.
And what do those funds go to? I'm sure it's a fundraiser.
It's Yuma Farmers Market. They have
Okay.
their own deal
Yeah.
where they do a lot of charity work.
Yeah.
They do a lot of stuff.
Good group.
Harvest Preparatory Academy is doing Christmas Around the World Tunnel of Lights. They did that right on the Harvest Prep High School grounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's 6:30 to 9. It's on 18th Street in Yuma, right off of 16th Street there in Arizona, is right near us.
By Big Bob.
Yeah, by Big Bob's. You get a tunnel of lights. Yeah, they get that going on. The celebrations are everywhere.
Yeah. Well, it's
And we got another ballet.
time of celebration.
Ballet Yuma Nutcracker at 7 p.m. on Saturday. The winter program at the Somerton Library at 10:30 in the morning
And just
on
if
Saturday.
anyone's missing any of this information, you're getting it right out of the newspaper.
It is. It's in the
Right,
column.
in the
It's into what's going on.
in the
stuff.
Daily Sun.
Somehow I missed the Parade of Lights. Where is that? I know it's here somewhere.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about. Yeah, that's what I thought you were talking about a moment ago.
I thought that was on Saturday also, isn't it?
I don't know. I heard the time was like 6:30.
Oh, there it is. I got it right here. Dorothy Young Memorial
Yeah.
Electric Light Parade,
Right.
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yeah. I somehow skipped it.
That is on Saturday then?
It is on Saturday at 6 p.m.
Yeah, I remember the
It's
time.
at
but not
Yuma's
the
north end somewhere. It doesn't say exactly where, but you'll find it. The
Yeah, we
roads
ha-
will be blocked off.
we
There'll
have
be a
our-
million people out there.
We have our spot that our go-to
We are
spot.
going. All right. I'm out of time. Chris, thanks for coming in. I'll see you
Thanks for
next
having me.
week, and I'll be here tomorrow. AM 560 KBLU.